And we are live with Terracon round 4. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to special guest who's joined us at this time, Mitch Pelham from Best in Faction fame. Hey Mitch, how you doing?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm doing well. I'm just chilling out on a Saturday. It's a Sunday for you guys though.
Yeah, it is. What time is it there?
It is 5 p.m. 5 to 9.
So this is you've joined us for your Friday evening.
Saturday evening, yeah.
Ah, of course. Thank you so much, dude. We have Ben versus Alex. So this is Ben Reggett versus Alexander Rymill, and this is Imperium on Imperium Love. we will go through. We're probably going to go through these lists a couple of times. We'll go through them once now, and then maybe once in about 20 minutes, half an hour for a few stragglers you catch up and tune in. We have Alexander Rymill's list as a these are both mixed Imperium, if I didn't say that before. One of them is primary Custodes, one's primary Astra Militarum. Alex Rymill, he has an Exalted Court. He has a House Crass Crusader he's got Headsman's Mark and the Crass Waller trait First Knight listed there. Is that the reroll ones damage? That's reroll ones in the shooting phase because they already get rerolls in combat, yeah?
I honestly I'm not sure. I don't.
Not abreast of the Knights.
No, I haven't played them since I dropped the Castellan.
There you go. Then we have a battalion detachment of Imperial Guard. This is Teaser Talan. So he is paying for the Emperor's Wrath Artillery Company. He has a tank commander with a Punisher, tank commander with another Punisher. No sponsons, just HBs in the hull. Then he has 3 infantry squads. And then to round that out, he has a Basilisk and a Wyvern. He has another battalion of guard. This one is Cadian. He's also paying for a Vigilus Defiant, Emperor's Fist tank company. And he has a company commander, another tank commander. This one has Old Grudges as a warlord trait, which I'm assuming he's paying for, and a plasma cannon. And he's got the Hammer of Sustenance. I'm
gonna feed you so hard.
I'm gonna feed you yeah. Anyway, and then he's got 3 infantry squads, 2 Astropaths, and a Bulgrin Star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd say it's 7 Bulgrin, all with mauls, 3 slab shields, and 1, 2, 3. 4 slab shields, 3 brute shields, and then 2 Wyvern heavy weapons teams. Mitchie, you are a bit of a Imperium savant, or what do you think of this list?
Well, I mean, obviously he has a lot of tools. The bully unit's really useful. It means that his knight gets to be more flexible with what it does. A lot of times when people use a knight, they use them as both a bully unit and a shooting unit.
Yep.
Now the knight can kind of dominate a kind of more of a flank while the mid table is held by really resilient Bulgrin. It also lets you kind of pick what, depending on your opponent's shooting, what you want to expose. So if they have more, say, damage 3 shooting, you don't want to necessarily use the Bulgrin. You can kind of utilize them in other ways. And put the knight forward where it can kind of shed off some more wounds. So it gives you a lot more flexibility by having multiple durable units. And then obviously the tank commanders give you a lot of range. You can't sit back and let this army shoot at you, but if you come at it, it's going to hit back. So, it's really trying to dictate a lot of its opponent's decisions.
So it looks like it's leveraging a pretty terrifying firebase with 3 tank commanders, Wyvern, Basilisk, House Crass Crusader, and then it's got this nice fat bully unit sitting to counterpunch you if you try and get too aggressive.
Exactly.
Yeah, so...
I did check it is reroll 1.
Yeah, beautiful. I think George just chucked that up in the chat for us.
Yeah, and Headsman Mask, I think is a solid choice for a relic on that guy as well.
Well, I'm not sure it's the best choice in this game. I think Endless Fury might have done him a little bit more favours here, but we will see. We're going to switch over to Ben Regg's list.
Having a relic on your list, like as in pre-selected, the Headsman's Mark is a pretty solid all-round relic, giving you +1 to damage characteristic for enemy models with 10 or more wounds.
+2 for Titanic,
+2 for Titanic. I think with the increase in mech, I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking about this matchup particularly, which we'll have a look at right now. So this is Ben Reggett's list. He is also running an Imperium. He has a straight-up Loyal 32 with mortars in the infantry squads, and that's it. Then he has an Adwire detachment, and this is something that we haven't seen punking around the scene for about a good 6 to 9 months. That is an outrider of Custodes. He has a shield captain on Dawning Jet Bike with the Auric Aquila, so a 3+ invulnerable save. And then he has 3 units of 4 Virtus Praetors, so there's 12 bikes there. And then rounding it up, he has his own Knight Crusader. So he's also crossed, but so this is what's interesting about this game now is that they've got a mirror in the Crusaders, Crusader versus Crusader, but one has a very defensive gun line, one has a very, very aggressive, punchy unit. Well, sorry, 3 units of bikes. So the Custodes have to go at him because the tank commanders will actually, especially that Hammer of Sustenance, think about it, will actually make very, very short work of him because the -2 is actually really premium versus the bikes. Sorry, go.
Oh, I was gonna say, so with the other two tank commanders, I'm just they're Talon. So those two are of less worry because obviously he's 6 on
yeah,
bikes.
yeah, and he's got
They're
Punishers.
Punishers, but but they're still I mean 40 shots is a ton at PS3.
He'll force some
And
through.
hold on, yeah. I mean, let's see here. Hold on, I wanted to go over to the other list. Does he have he has no -1 on his bikes, which is a huge problem for him. Actually,
Yes, in this matchup,
Yeah,
it would have made
agreed.
it would have made
it's
a
a
gigantic difference.
yeah, like it literally it shifts the whole math of the gun line that he's dealing with by an order of 1, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
So I mean that it's really going to depend on deployment and then how quickly he can get into the lines, because if it's more than 1 or 2 turns, that those bikes will melt very quickly.
They will not make it. But so here's the interesting question. So it looks like Alexander's got the. Sorry, I'm calling him Alexander. Let's not that. Alex has gotten the choice to go to drop first, and he's decided to drop his army first, which I think works in his favour. He wants to go first, from what I can see. And the more firepower you can put into those bikes before they connect, the much the better. From your guys' point of view, the bikes really want to go first, yeah.
Yes.
Mind you, if they prop prepared positions, they can weather it pretty well. The only problem I see happening is between the 2 units of mortars, the Wyverns and the Basilisk, or any and all backfield board control that Ben has is going to evaporate very, very quickly.
Yeah, so do you do that early, or do you just go, all right, focus on those bikes and leave those?
Well,
because of the amount of indirect fire you have, you can leave the shitty little 10-mans.
The mortars and
till,
Wyverns,
like, turn 3.
the mortars and Wyverns aren't going to scratch the bikes. They're not going to make any meaningful benefit there. What they are going to do is probably make sure that you get a kill and kill more, because
fair.
It can be unlikely through prepared positions that you even drop a unit of bikes turn 1. So from my point of view, the Wyvern double shooting is picking up 1, maybe 2 units of Guardsmen, depending if you actually wanted to or needed to. From my point of view, he's probably just milk them. Probably just try and kill 1 a turn. Pete the Falcon has just joined us. He says, "What is this, jet bikes? Is this 2018? No, this is Australia, and we don't follow your rules. We don't follow any rules."
So what I would say is that the way that the tanks are being deployed is very conservative.
Extremely conservative.
Which is interesting to me. I would just be setting myself up to. I mean, I would be wrapping obviously every vehicle in infantry as much as humanly possible, but I would just be setting myself up to just hit those bikes as hard as humanly possible. So there is no -1. You do not care about the cover for this, because most of your shooting either is 0 AP or AP2, and getting them up to a 3-up is really all you need to shift the math. You just need to push power through, and you could easily destroy 1.5 of those bikes. Now, obviously, if his invos get hot, you could kill 2. Like that. That's just dice, but I mean, I would really be going for as hard of a hit as possible, because once the Custodes are in your lines, he doesn't have a great way to counterback. Fulgrim are good, but not enough with that many bikes.
It's pretty obvious that so also they've got Vanguard deployment. It's pretty obvious how aggressive and defensive both are minded. So look, Alex is literally in. He has a small deployment zone for the size of his army anyway, and he's still deployed it in about like a third of his deployment zone. His entire army's in, whereas his opponent is spread out across his line, and he's just going balls to the walls. Also, I'd like to point out one thing about this piece of terrain you guys might not know. So this piece of these 2 crates here, they are only 3 inches tall. So that means that the tank commanders that are behind them can actually see over. So those 2 tank commanders can actually see over that piece of terrain. with their turrets. So they're actually that's actually quite a clever placement by Alex. So he's taking up all the available space. He's got a unit of guardsmen on the inside of that L and a unit of guardsmen on top of that L. So they can just sit there, and that gives them a little
I
bit of
didn't realize
insulation.
they could see over.
Yeah,
that
just
is
the
much
turrets can
better.
see over. Well, of course, it doesn't matter if anything can see over. But yeah, the
So
turrets are about
you say
half
they
an
can-
inch taller than that piece of terrain.
You say they can see over, but don't forget that that big piece of terrain that's on a perfect angle for Vanguard in the center of the table. Like, I
Yeah,
personally would have liked to have seen Alex deploy his knight probably up the top left-hand corner of his deployment zone, and if he gets first turn, push that up to make it so as you've got line of sight around that box.
yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep. I'm just circling the different terrain pieces we have on this table now, and just giving you an indication of how many inches high they are. So that middle piece of terrain is 9 inches high. Nothing in this game, bar the knights, are going to be able to see over it. So no Lehman Russes, no nothing. Whereas the crates he's standing on are 3 inches, and the L-shaped ruins are 6. So there's a lot of variance. I think then there's these ones 12.
So I mean, obviously they're just setting up for the game, but I'm going to propose the tactic I think I would have gone with. Were I in the Imperial Guard player's position in this game, I would have put my knight way up, because I don't think, and I would have made it the sacrificial kill. I don't think that the opposing army has enough shooting to kill the knight in the shooting phase, which means he would have either had to charge a couple units of bikes or a knight into me, and then I would have used it to explode and actually try and just deal as much damage to his army as possible. Because if I go first, then I'm going to move forward, shoot a bunch, charge in, and do the exact same thing. And that's the more effective version of that tactic. But I feel like knights are kind of their own ticking time bombs with that stratagem they have.
Yeah.
And if you can pull that off, you're actually getting so much more value out of them, because they're going to soak up a bunch of fire no matter what. If it gives you a turn of nothing else getting shot, and they have to deploy, leverage their army to really get all that shooting, because that means that everything is going to be within, probably 12 to 16 inches of that knight. So they've really concentrated their forces, and that means that you're going to be able to secure more objectives and get a much better
absolutely.
field position.
It looks like he's decided to deep strike one unit of his bikes. So he's only deployed. Yeah, he's deployed 2 units of 4, and we've got one single off to the right. I'm guessing that's his shield captain, which will probably be moving in a minute, because no way he stays there. He just auto dies turn 1 if he stays there. But I'd assume that means that one unit's going to be starting in reserve, which is not a bad idea. But so one thing I'll point out here, I think Alex's use of the Bulgren is going to become really, really key. So the Bulgren, they're straddling in this middle section. So they're just there. So what he wants to do is he wants to wait until the bikes get to a probably minimum charge distance. They probably get to about there, and that's probably them with what do they move? They move 14 guys. So the clever thing for the bikes to do would be to stage on the other side of this 9-inch terrain piece first turn. They just come here, they stay here. Next turn they fly over, and then they're threatening charges everywhere. Most likely occurrence is they either just charge and connect and maybe tap some tanks, but they won't be able to actually get charge moves in to connect with them if they can't kill a shitload of screen, and then they'll just making their charge harder. So if he can get any effective charges with the Bulgren onto bikes, that is absolutely premium. That is absolutely massive.
He has 14 inch, by the way.
Yeah. So he'd be stupid if he knew he can move 14 inches. He'd be stupid to come onto the other side of this 9-inch piece of line sight blocking terrain. He can just sit on the stage on the other side of it and then slingshot to 6 inches over. That's a shit arrow. That's a shit arrow, Pete. See that one? Pete's been taking the piss out of me. He's saying those circles are crap. Get this guy a protractor. Douchebag. Get back to your Excel spreadsheets, man. This is the real content. Jeez.
You know what you should do? You should tell us what the stats say, mate.
We got the predictor. We have the new function of Down Under Pairings.
The new patented that we haven't patented.
We haven't patented it, no.
No, but the exclusive game predictor.
How do I get it to show up on the screen?
Hit Firefox.
Yep. And And that is the game predictor from Down Under Pairings for this matchup. So the players' win-loss ratio. So Ben Reggett only has 6 games logged in Down Under Pairings, whereas Alex Rymill has 16, and he's won 10 of his 16, whereas Ben's won 4 of his 6 so far. But that puts it in Ben Reggett's favour by 51% to 48%. Factions head-to-head, Custodes versus Astra Militarum shape up usually in the Custodes' favour, according to this, with a 55.6% versus 44.4%. The faction win-loss ratios, because we've got such a depth of data, like 213 Astra Militarum games, 120 Custodes, it usually always sits between 51 to 52, whatever.
Yeah, the thing that we'll find, obviously, technically, both these armies are actually Imperium, not Adeptus Custodes and Astra Militarum, but these are actually closer stats to what they would be anyway. So look, it's not a mirror match, obviously, but there are a lot of similarities with the lists. So I'm not, and both players have a reasonably similar win-loss ratio. Now, neither of them are from. Where's Ben Reggett from?
I think he's an SA boy. He's an Adelaide boy, yeah.
Yeah, so neither of them are from Victoria, which have the largest proportion of Down Under Pairing games, as well as WA and Queensland.
Not for long.
Not for long.
Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, I'm not overly surprised. It looks like it's going to be a pretty close match, but slightly in Ben's favour.
And I think, Ben has played very aggressively, and he's actually knocked off some pretty chunky names so far in this. He knocked off Antonello round 1. Which is not the title defense it used to be, but he's still not with the list he's running, but he's still a very accomplished player. Resident Sleeper, mixed Imperium Resident Sleeper. We just had that commented on our post. Absolutely is. And what do you think of this mix of factions? If you were to play these kind of soup detachments, soup armies, how would you roll with it, Mitch?
I mean, Guard with the Knight obviously is kind of a classic mix. You know what? It used to be the Castellan, now it's the Crusader, or you have options depending on what you want to do. If you're running more of just a pure gun line, a Gallant makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
There's a lot of different ways you can go, but it's always just the strong combat threat on top of just a mathematically efficient gun line. Is always effective. The Bulgrin are obviously a nice touch. It gives you the ability to clear out magic boxes. It gives you the ability to hide and still pose threat, which is something that that some units struggle with. For example, the jet bikes, they pose threat, very hard to hide.
Exceptionally hard to hide, especially those stupid spears standing straight up.
Yep. That was. When I had Custodio jet bikes, I don't know what you're talking about. All my guys pointed forward. Yeah,
exactly right. If I ever had them, they would all literally point straight forward.
I'd have the arms magnetized personally, and then just be like, "Oh no, the magnets aren't very strong. I'll just leave them off."
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Wow. So I think we were wrong with the deployment map. I think they've actually got Dawn of War.
Dawn of War.
Yeah, well, it definitely looks like Dawn of War to me now. It morphed from. Look at that line,
Weird.
Mitch. Look at that freaking line. Look at those lines. You wouldn't get better lines anyway. It's definitely lawned.
You know you can actually make a line.
Shh. Freehanding, all right. Get extra paint points. Soft scores.
That's why you come down on the network.
So I will tell you right now, there's a few things that have jumped out to me. So Ben is on 4 CP remaining. He has a Loyal 32, starting with 5. He has an Outrider, so 6 plus 3 is 9. He's spent 5 CP at the start of the game. Some of those would have been to buy extra relics, I'm assuming, but I'm also going to have, I'm just going to guess he's paid for pair positions, which means apart from the Basilisk, everything else in the game he's going to get a 3+ armor against.
Ben does play an Eversaw assassin.
So Ben's got an Eversaw? He always
what he usually runs.
What he usually runs? Okay, we'll get.
I imagine would be against this.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick through this. You can just go through and just mince up some screen so your buys can get in where they want to. Although I think a Vindicare becomes pretty premium here too. He's got a bunch of Astropaths, he's got a bunch of Company Commanders.
I agree. When you're playing against Imperial Guard, Vindicare has become money because you can usually, as long as... Now, he may have looked at it and been like, I don't have the CP to afford a Vindicare.
To fund it,
I need something that's more consistent without any sort of CP, and that might be his thought process, in which case the Eversor makes a lot of sense. But if you have the CP, the Vindicare against IG is really, really good.
It's
I
amazingly
think
good.
if you look at Ben's secondary choices, which was Kingslayer, Mark for Death, and the Reaper, I think with those secondaries, the Eversor assists more with trying to achieve things like Reaper.
So Kingslayer obviously is on the knight because it's the only way to get 4 points out of a single knight. Is that still that's still true? Yeah, Mitch. They haven't changed in any way. You can still get the 4 points out of a knight for Kingslayer.
I assume so.
So, it's hard for me to tell here which are the Punisher Lehman Russes and which is the Battle Cannon Lehman Russ.
So the two
It looks like
Punisher. So just look for the ones without the sponsons.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, two of them have got sponsons.
Yeah,
Go
that's why
have a geese for us, mate. I'm just sending off our correspondent to go have a quick look, and also see if you can find the assassin, Nick. So
Maybe he's just being sneaky.
maybe he's just being super sneaky.
I would assume the Battle Cannon is that bottom.
I was going to assume the battle cannon is the most heavily protected one, which would be this back one. He has no need to move that one up, so that would mean that this one was also a Punisher, because it wouldn't have been in range otherwise, and now it is. And of course, the one that's sitting on top of the crates, that's somehow got on top of a crate.
How is I mean that one might be in range now, but I don't know what it'd be. The Punisher has a 24-inch cannon.
Yeah. So we just had it pointed out that this one off to the left is a Punisher.
That's
Yeah.
the Punisher.
Yeah. So I was right. Yeah. So the most heavily protected one at the back of the lines is the hammer of sustenance. It's totally what it's called now, guys. Just so you know.
Ben did say before the game that if you wanted to know where his Eversor is, it's up his opponent's ass.
Okay, so he did move.
Classy.
He is moving the Battle Cannon one. And so my question is for that lower, the one, right, Punisher tanks. What is it in range of right now? Now, maybe he's gonna use the order to move it further in the shooting phase, but with a 24-inch range right now, he's not in range of anything.
This one, he is not in range of anything right now, man. And he has already moved. He began up here, so he's moved his 6 inches up. So he's not going to be in range to fire on anything. But it looks like I think he's okay with that with the way he's moved. He's just moving it again now.
Yeah, he's gonna order it.
Yeah,
I assume. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the right call as well. So it still gets its 40 shots, and he'll just be peeking into the 24 inches. Now one thing.
And this is the magic of Talon tank commanders, guys.
Yeah, move shoot move is back.
They move a lot. They move 11 inches, and they still get to shoot 40
man.
shots.
So George just said I think Punisher's the wrong choice for tank commanders. Yes and no. I mean, you could take Punishers with plasma cannons and a las cannon in the hull, and then it's kind of your all-purpose Swiss Army knife. It kind of does everything. It does blow. It does push out the cost a fair bit. I prefer.
I'll never condone las cannons on anything.
Yeah, actually, I'm not a huge fan of the las cannons. I love the plasma cannons though, because they're only 5 points more than the heavy bolters, and they just offer you so much more versatility.
Oh no! The plasma cannons are a great sponson choice. I'm a big fan of the Punisher, 2 plasma, and a heavy bolter as kind of jack of all trades.
Yeah.
It offers a lot of threat in a lot of different ways. But in general, I tend to want Talon in that case because you want that move shoot, that either move shoot move or move shoot. Either way, it's paying off and not paying a shooting penalty for heavy weapons with your Talon with a ballistic skill of 3 is huge.
We're already into the shooting phase, guys. That tank commander has just opened up and looks like it killed a guy. Yep, and he's just being clever, and he's pulled the leftmost. He's pulled this Punisher out of range of shooting. Yep. So this tank commander is shot, and it has killed. He's actually done really well and managed to kill a Virtus Praetor, which is very surprising to me. And he has. I wouldn't have thought that would happen.
No, neither do I. I think Alex won't be upset that one of them has been taken out of range because he probably banked on needing to shoot both of them.
Yeah, to kill one dude anyway. Yeah.
I actually I think that he may have needed to just be more aggressive with that first tank commander with its move. He could have been in range no matter what.
He could have guaranteed the 20 shots. Yeah.
I feel like that's. I mean, it's not a big misplay. He got a kill. That's great. Or I mean, he killed a bike, which in this matchup matters a lot.
Yeah.
But I think that there is a way to have guaranteed both.
But do you, with the wanting to keep those tanks bubble wrapped, if you're too aggressive with the tanks, the mans might not be able to keep up.
No, well, I mean, you always have move, move, move. You're not
Yeah.
counting on these
Yeah,
guys
true.
to shoot at all. Like, their shooting is the most insignificant thing in this matchup humanly possible until they get to shoot at the other loyal 32, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like to me, it's far. Like I feel like he could have moved either the tank commander on the left up a lot more if he had moved those guys up more aggressively. Yeah, that maybe makes him feel a little bit more exposed. But if he pushes his Bulgrin up a little more, it's kind of daring his opponent to shoot at whatever he wants. Like, hey,
Yeah.
yeah, you can kill a threat, but which one are you going to kill? I got a lot of them, and and he would have gotten maybe a little bit more effect out of
And
he with the knight shooting and the basilisk shooting, he maybe kills that whole bike squad.
And look, honestly, with so he's killed another bike there, but honestly, with you kind of want to pull one unit of bikes out and expose it, and I think pushing up that tank commander as bait would have been a good idea. It's with only one or two bikes left, the likelihood of them killing the 20 guardsmen in front of him is actually pretty slim, which means you'll probably still have screen in front of that tank commander, and plus when he declares the charge, you will get to defensive gunners and Overwatch. And which gives you just another turn of shooting. That Punisher is not getting you much value in this game, so using it as bait to extract value out of your opponent is pretty important to me. And then it just gives you a
Am I right
nice
in
fat
thinking
counter
that
charge.
Am I right in thinking that top left-hand ruin has a big 10-man sort of guard in it?
Yeah, very
Hiding?
possible. Can you go over, please have a gaze for us, Nick?
Because George has a good question, a good point. Why didn't he put those bikes behind the building
Yeah.
rather than in line of sight at all? And I tend to agree.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of
Well,
I don't think there's much of a point of being
They
behind
had
there.
Vanguard deployment, right?
No, it looks like they've got Dawn of War.
It looks like they've
Oh,
done
okay,
a wall.
Dawn of War. Okay, someone had said Vanguard earlier in that.
Yeah, it honestly looked like it was Vanguard.
They were deploying that way originally.
Yeah, they really were. It is Dawn of War. I'm just looking. So we have
Yeah, it has to be.
we had the score sheet. I'll just show you guys quickly. So through the power of Down Under Pairings, they
Dawn of War.
Dawn of War. They've plugged it in. They've got Dawn of War. They started with 4 and 7 command points because they spend so many. There's all the secondaries. They haven't ticked who's going first because they're potatoes and they will potate. But
Butcher's Bill is interesting.
so yeah, well, we haven't really discussed the secondaries as much as we probably should. So let's go into those pretty quick. So Alex has picked Gangbusters, Butcher's Bill, and Kingslayer. What do you think of those, Mitch?
Well, like I said, I think Butcher's Bill is interesting. Like just banking on 2 kills a turn every turn. Like again, in this case, I feel like it's still forcing your hand, whereas you may be able to get an extra point holding a objective due to mobility. Like there's just a lot of things there where like I dislike things that are like, hey, you have to do X and X, or you have to behave in a way that might be against your interest otherwise.
Yeah.
For a game plan, I like a secondary objectives where I'm like, okay, I can accomplish these things along the way.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that's the one thing that jumps out at me.
And we just had to point it out that it did look like the Custodes deployed to go first, didn't it? Even though we know Alex deployed first and was going first, unless he got seized on. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if the Custodes player just thought he was in that bad a matchup that was like, well, I have to go first no matter what. But there was enough line of sight blocking terrain here in his deployment zone. He could have easily hit 1, if not 2 units of bikes. And I honestly thought he was going to deep strike some of them.
Yeah, I would have deep struck 2 and hit everything, and
And
then
yeah.
and just dared them to kill your knight because chances are they don't.
Exactly right.
And then you just come right back at them, and you can that is an effective way to absorb a first turn alpha strike.
Yeah, and well, if he's got Headsman's Mark on there, the chances of him picking up that tank commander with the Hammer of Sustenance is pretty reasonable, is quite reasonably high. And then it's a Crusader versus Crusader off, and it doesn't really matter at that point. But past that, we've got Ben's has chosen Kingslayer, Mark for Death, and the Reaper. Mark for Death, you'd have to assume is on the tank commanders because otherwise he would have chosen Headhunter. So, because Headhunter on the 3 tank commanders is the same quantity of points to give up as Mark for Death. So, what else do you think is the last one? It's either going to be the Basilisk or it's going to be the Bulgrin. What would you pick, Mitch?
Bulgrin.
The Bulgrin are hard enough to crack for you though, like because you can go in there. You can go in there.
Going to be at the back. The Basilisk's going to be at the back of the table the whole game. Whereas
It's true. It's
Bulgrin,
actually a hard
I reckon
prospect.
The Bulgrin I think I think if Ben wants to get the job done, he's going to have to deal with the Bullgren at some point.
Yep.
So he may as well mark them.
I tend to agree. I would go with the Bulgaren.
Because
Yeah.
the other thing to keep in mind is, let's say for argument's sake that you think, all right, I'm only going to be able to deal with the Bulgaren if Alex is aggressive with them, and if Alex is aggressive with them, I lose the game. Then you go, all right, I'll mark them for death. So Alex then potentially has to think about whether or not he protects them, and as such, giving away some of his advantage.
Yeah. So he's just shooting his Cross Crusader now. He's putting the Avenger Gatler Cannon and the Stubbers into the single Virtus Praetor, and he's putting the Battle Cannon into the Praetor unit to the right of the Knight. Ba-ba-bum. I think they're just deciding what cocked is now. Yep, they're having that good old chat. It's always interesting seeing the sequencing of people rolling dice, and it's like, I don't sequence my dice rolls like that. That's crazy talk. And then when you're actually doing it, you realize, well, everyone's actually the same.
Yep.
You think you're special. He looks like he got 4 wounds through, and that Praetor just got picked up. Wow, okay, that is...
Excellent.
That is, well, that's...
For an executed strategy, that's excellent. Like,
It is. Well, and look at the distance.
A whole bike unit. That's a big deal. Everything else is so far away.
So yeah, look at the distance that just gave him. So there was a 14-inch move on those guys. They were first turn charge guaranteed based on Alex's movement, and now he's just got himself a whole nother turn where he does not need to give a shit about the bikes. Yeah, I think that was really well. It was the obvious choice for target priority, but Alex has executed really well. There are 3 bike units, guys. 3 units of 4 bikes, and he does not have a banner, which we were talking about at the start. This army would get so much better if it just had a banner.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's pros and cons to the banner. So the banner obviously can make you feel like you're very predictable. Hey, all my bikes are going to be around this banner.
Yeah.
But that's not actually the case. You can hide one unit, deep strike a unit, and then have your banner and use a unit as bait.
Yeah, banner and bait unit.
This unit's really scary, and then all of a sudden, oh, your whole army shot of this. Yeah, I lost a guy, but no big deal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So he paid prepared positions, and he still lost those bikes. Is that unlucky? I feel like it's unlucky. Because everything except for the Basilisk, everything is getting a 3-up save against. Everything's -2. And what is that?
Well, I'm not saying he should bait George. Just to be clear. I'm just saying that's an option. I would have deep struck some because it's just you need to just reduce. With a gun line like this, you're trying to reduce the efficiency, so you want to make their shooting inefficient. So they should be shooting at things that are only slightly in range. You can only get the minimum efficiency out of them. Again, a -1 really helps with that.
Yeah, indeed. We might get our good man Nick on the floor to go do a bit of a roam around the top tables. So we have all 5 top tables in the same room with us at the moment. And all the plebs are in the big cold shed. So if you're in the shed and you're watching this back, you're awesome. We love you.
Mr. Matt Plague Hulk Morrisoli
is in that shed.
Longer in the
Yeah, Martino's in the shed. Napier's in the shed. It's hilarious.
What big names are still in the top room?
I don't care. For a good time now.
That's because he lost a game. Before that, he would have been like frothing at the mouth. So I was just talking to Nick there, guys.
Which big boys are still in the top table?
We have Hamilton on the second to top table. We have Stuart, the kid trainer. We have Eleanor Blyer. They're playing each other on table 3.
Ooh, that's a rematch of the
it is
of the ANZ Open.
It is. We have Hayden Mansky on table 5.
I believe we're now seeing the Wyvern go to in that building the objective. This is a big deal if he is able to start just killing. Well, if he's able to start killing off board presence, there's no way. Turn 1, if you reduce your opponent's board presence that much because he didn't have a lot to begin with, you can't catch up in points. It creates a widening gap.
A snowball effect.
Yeah.
Especially if turn one you're playing a game where Alex has an immense amount of board presence, but he's very conservative with it, and his opponent has to be aggressive to take that away. If you're taking away his board presence, then his aggressive units, if they're not killing things that are on objectives, they're not getting points.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, it looks like I would say with the Wyvern and the mortars, that should be enough to take out a 10-man squad, and there's your butcher's bill.
Easily, man.
No, but I
The
mean,
Wyvern by itself should take him out.
We all, I think we're all a little skeptical of the butcher's bill decision. Oh no, he did not get butcher's bill.
You didn't get it. Fair enough.
No,
And that's
so,
why I don't like it.
yep.
And yep, that is exactly.
And I agree with you.
And he's doing exactly what I thought he was going to do turn one as well. He's chucking all his bikes behind that line stop blocking terrain, and so he can slingshot in next turn. I'm a genius, guys. Everyone pay attention to me. Look, I predicted a thing that was an obvious choice. So the knights are both untouched, so no Night for Night Love has occurred yet. Although there's only 5 bikes there, which makes me think there is a unit of bikes in reserve, guys.
6.
There's
5. Yeah.
There's 5 there, so that's the
Right,
shield
yeah.
captain with the Auric Aquilus and a unit of bikes. So there is one in reserve. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now for his deployment type
Good.
and everything. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Jason Collins, thanks for joining us, man. I'm so sorry to hear that Twitch is giving you issues. She is a harsh mistress at times. She demands what she demands. She takes what she will. Nick, baby, give us an update.
I've got an update on.
One sec, brother. I just got to turn you up. You're a bit faint.
Yeah, Pete's Knights are taking the middle.
You are actually at max volume, and we can barely hear you. Is that same for you guys?
Could just be my microphone.
I can hear him okay.
Oh, yep. Well, you go, mate. This must be me then. Nick?
Yeah, so it's Michael Hamilton versus Peter on top 3. Peter's Knights are taking the middle of the board. It looks like they're playing long way. He has lost long first turn. A bit unfortunate. But still not a lot has happened. I don't think Michael's had a shooting phase back at just yet, so we'll have to see what happens. You never can outtell against Knights.
Nah. Yeah, I can't jack you up anymore, Nick, and apparently the stream can barely hear you. So maybe just have a quick gaze around, have an appraisal, and just come back and report here. So he was just saying about our second top table, which is Michael Hamilton versus... Who's he versing, guys? I have the X-Men animated series theme song stuck in my head right now, gentlemen.
Not Pony by Genuine.
Not Pony Day. So it's Peter Skeen playing a Knight Army versus Michael Hamilton playing Tau. And what were you saying? It looks like Michael's gone second.
Yeah, Peter's taken half the board. It looks like they're playing long ways.
Yep.
The Knights have killed Longstrike in the first turn before he got to do anything, which is unfortunate for Michael, but he has got a lot of shield drones surrounding those Riptides and the other... I think he's got another Iron Head there.
And it looks like he's moved up in a nugget, yeah? He's all 4 Knights are moving together.
All 4 Knights have moved the full way. They are going straight at him.
So he's got a 4 Knight list, Mitch, and he's got a Gallant, a Warden, and two Crusaders, which I think it's the way forward for Knight armies now. If you want to make a mono Knight army, I think taking the 4 and having the 2 Crusaders or 3 Crusaders is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, Triple Crusader is strong.
Yeah, I think double and a Warden is still pretty valid as well.
Absolutely.
What are we seeing here? It looks like the movement phase is probably already done. There's not a hell of a lot for him to move, so that's good for us. We're going to get a nice quick game.
So, what I'll point out here is I feel like he should have pushed his Bulgrin further forward.
Yeah. So
if
just
he had his, he needed to be prepared to counter take the middle because that's really his opponent's only play.
Yeah, exactly right. That was what I was saying before. If he was willing to, instead of, so you see where this tank commander is, I was of the opinion the Bulgrin should have gone in front of them and just to act as a deterrent against the shield bikes, because the shield bikes actually are quite poor in combat against the Bulgrin with only the D3 damage, and so they come in, wound him on 3s, re-rolling, but then he gets if he's got the 2+, he gets a 4+ invulnerable save, and then D3 damage. He doesn't kill all that many Bulgrin.
Do you think that he's potentially just using them as a counter charge unit?
Yeah, look, it's obvious he's holding them in reserve to use them as counter, but he could be using them as a deterrent, which I think would be more value.
I would have had them on the left of the tank commander by that kind of red light on the mat, on the
Yep.
fat mat.
So just here.
That red dot, just that 4 inches forward means next turn they could actually move forward and have a pretty reasonable charge distance.
Yeah. If he decides to, yeah, you're exactly right. They could charge him where they stand, and then as soon as those bikes get charged,
Taking the middle is his opponent's only play. So putting them right there gives him the play next turn to move them up and have that charge threat. So all of a sudden, he could possibly be charging through a wall with 0 Overwatch from all those bikes with Bulgrin, and then having, if the bikes are dealing with that, it doesn't matter if you fly. If you have fallback, you can't charge.
doesn't matter. You can't charge, and that takes away most of the threat of the bikes. If they can't charge, they can only threaten guardsmen.
Exactly. So that's just the one thing I feel like he's just being a little too conservative with those Bulgars. Make them loud, make them proud. He doesn't have enough long range shooting to scare you.
Well, it was
put them
Pride
out
Week.
there. Yeah. Well, it's Pride Month, right? Like
It's Pride Month, yeah, loud and proud.
yeah. So no, but like get those fabulous Bulgarian out there. Get
Exactly.
those shields out there. Get them strutting,
Glittering
I wanna
in the
see,
sun.
Like, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, they can only turn left. They're not ambi turners.
Yeah, they can only turn left. Yeah, that's right.
So I just wanted to throw this one out so that everyone's well aware. I just messaged Mr. Nick Nanavati himself. Alex is one of his Knights of the Game table lads, and I said you should really come on the stream for a little bit via Discord, talk us through his training. You know, you got a good plug here, and he goes, "I am trash and at a bar."
It was a good time.
He ain't coming on.
Can confirm that is a Nick quote.
He was drinking with JV last night, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Imagine the kind of babies those two would make. It's the 40k firepower that would come out of those children. Okay, just dead silence for my amazing. Jesus, fine.
I'm getting some interruptions here. I'm not being able to hear everything you guys are saying.
I was making a crack about them having babies, JV and Nick Nanavati. They're getting drunk at a bar together, they're out on a date.
I'm sure they'd be very good at 40K.
Exactly right. How fucking good with 40k would they be? They'd be monsters. They like come out of the womb like rolling sixes. Anyway,
How they win.
back to the game. Looks like we've got some guardsmen being picked up.
I love it. Mitch is like, that's not how they win.
It's alcohol. Come on.
It's alcohol. Yeah. JV's, yeah. I've had some drunk chats with JV, and he just messages me. It's like 3 a.m. for him. It's like fucking 11 a.m. for me, and he's like, Adam, I'm dying. I'm like, go in peace, Jay.
I can hands down say that my best results ever are from when I am absolutely hammered.
Absolutely trash town.
I have gone 3-0 with Space Wolves that way.
But how many Wolfen did you have?
None.
That's your first mistake.
I had 5.
They're good man. We saw some freaking Wolfen on stream yesterday, and they were cock punching. They were doing really well.
Aggressors, man. Space Wolf aggressors.
You heard it here, guys. That's the scoop. That's the Mitch P lock for the day. Space Wolf aggressors.
Oh. I'm sorry, Power Fist that hit on 3 and 9 shots a model that can be doubled.
Yeah.
And ignore modifiers.
Yeah.
What's not to like?
Seems pretty good, man.
222 points for 6?
Yeah.
And they can outflank?
They can
Yeah,
outflank.
Seems
Seems good.
Feels good.
If only they had like a reliable charge mechanic, like a 3d6 charge or something.
If only. We can only hope for a new Space Wolf Codex.
I will just point out some things that have occurred here. So he has established his wall. He has pulled back the Talon tank commander. He's back up on the wall, and he's pushed the Bulgrin out to complete a screen with some guardsmen in front of him. So now he's presenting this pretty unbroken chain in front, where if... So what do we think is 14 inches here? So I think 14 inches probably
We've got the tape measure out.
is about here. That's probably
exactly where Alex pointed.
Exactly where Alex is. Yeah. Should be paying more attention to the freaking game.
So I'm a little worried about how he set that up. The guard right to the right of that furthest, the rightmost tank commander can melt really quickly
To the Hurricanes. Yeah. And then he just charges through.
Yeah. I don't feel like that's as strong a position. I feel like you need to put that other guard squad right up there, and I don't know why he didn't.
Yeah, blob them both. And he's moving one to the bottom right, and I think he should have pulled that back and just doubled down on that layering.
Yeah. That's the only thing I'm looking at with the screen where I'm like, I feel like that could melt pretty quick.
Yeah, it will. It will. I'm maybe he doesn't care at this point. It's just a tank commander with a Punisher that's not getting a huge amount of value. Maybe that's the subtle bait. If the tank commander gets
Yeah,
charged, it's the Bullgrin. The Bullgrin are right there.
Well, but the thing is that you can actually position it in a way where maybe a Bulgrin gets into you're gonna get 1 to 2 Bulgrin swings in max, but if he can trap that tank commander and avoid shooting for a turn, that's pretty big value.
That's very true.
Because he doesn't have to swing; he can just swing with his base strength 6. You know, nothing special.
Well, on the charge with 4 Virtus Paraders, anyone want to do the math? Does he kill a 12 wound Lehman Russ? Check out the math
I
for
would
us.
assume so because it's what AP2 or AP3.
It's AP3, D3 damage. Reroll straight. So winning on 5 is re-rolling on the charge.
Yeah.
4 attacks each, or is it 3 attacks each?
4 attacks each.
Yeah. So 16 attacks, hitting on 2s, probably re-rolling 1s. So we're going to go 15 hits. Winning on 5s, re-rolling, so 5 and then another 3, so probably about 7 or 8 wounds. And he's going to have a 6-up save, so he's going to save 1, maybe 2. So he's going to have 5d3, 6d3 wounds go through. That should kill it. Yeah, it's probably dead. 6d3, 12 wounds, it should die, straight up.
But if he doesn't do that, he can hold it hostage.
Yeah, well, what you'd do is you'd go in and you attack with 3 of them. You attack with 12 attacks, not the 16, and then you're quite unlikely to kill that tank commander, and you leave him on a couple of wounds, which makes it a lot more guaranteed you knock him off in the next round and break out.
Yeah.
So, being the fact that it was Dawn War deployment, was there anything deployed in that bottom right-hand corner, sitting on that objective?
Literally 0 on that bottom right.
Yeah, that seems a little odd.
I would have just chucked a distraction, like 10 guys on that, just stick him there. If he goes for him, that works in your favour.
The line of sight, you could have hidden 10 dudes there and just killed. Let's just bring up...
So there's 3 mortars. That's all he's got to take him away. There's 3 mortars, and I think they're all like about that area. But 3 mortars into 10 guardsmen in cover, they don't do much.
Well, not only that, but that is what I was about to say. Is it's about killing efficiency. His opponent's army only has 4 efficient units that kill things.
Yeah.
5 if you can shield tap and stuff. We'll go with 5. So if he sends even 1 away, that's 20% of his efficient force dealing with something that does not matter to your force whatsoever.
I'll just point out that he's moved that Talan tank commander again. He's moved back another 6 inches, so he's right abutting the board edge.
Okay.
My issue there is he has this guy called a shield captain who could move there, and with the new fly rule just hop up. Actually, all of them could. Technically, if that shield captain made it to the base there, and then he would just need 1 Praetor there and 1 there, and this tri-pointed really easily. I'm not sure that gap is worth leaving, to be honest.
I also, I'm just really surprised that Alex didn't have something on that bottom right objective.
Yeah, it just seems a bit weird to just not just chuck a token. He's got 6 units of infantry. He's got 6. Chuck one there. Who gives a shit?
Ben got Holdmore that turn because Alex was only on 1 objective.
Yeah, well, let's look at the scores. So Alex actually took a commanding lead there, 5-2. So that would have been hold 1, kill 1, kill more.
Yep, and then he got 2 for gangbusters.
And 2, yeah. So gangbusters, there's an auto choice versus the bikes. It's just too good. You kill 2 units of bikes, you've maxed very easily. Whereas it's just a kill and a hold for Ben. No, not even a kill. Not even kill. He just got hold and hold more.
Yeah. So I just, and he wouldn't have got Holdmore
If he'd had that other unit sitting on that objective, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. So he would have denied.
He didn't have to move to. He could have just deployed on it.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, well, there's a little hold because that's just a 40-point unit. That's not going to get you much value anyway. It's probably just going to be picked up by hurricanes.
Well, that's its job is to
sit on it. Exactly right.
Sit on objectives and get command points.
Yeah.
Or get points.
Unless Alex felt he needed all of those infantry models to screen first turn. I don't know. I don't see it that way, but.
Garage games, maybe armchair warrior mode is easy. It really is, guys. It really is. It's very easy to judge from here. We're not playing on a top table of one of the biggest tournaments in Australia. It's very easy for us to call the shots, to look and to judge. So we're not being harsh. We are just calling what we are seeing. And
Yeah,
we're not doing any of this with malice or with any ill intent.
not at all. Like it's very
Alex is from my
interesting
club.
to see. So for me, I like looking at how different people deploy and screen, and seeing kind of what people can get away with in a way. Like what are people comfortable with? What's the margin?
Yeah, so what I like to think of when we're watching this is probably like my 30th stream game. We have a very one-dimensional and very unique view of the table from where we are. The players can't see the table the same as we can, so we have completely different perspectives of the game. So what we see and what they see do not correlate.
I don't know. Some of the players are pretty tall. It's also I just like to throw out there to Garage Games. I am probably being a little bit more critical on Alex than I am Ben. So Alex is from the Hammer House, which is the club I started. So he's one of my boys. So yeah.
Yeah, he's left you though, hasn't he?
No.
He's been wiled away by the siren song of Nick Natavati.
No, he's still down his Hammer House.
Is he really on his ITC and on Down Under Pairings?
He's on Down Under Pairings. I'm not sure about ITC.
Betrayer. No, it's fine. So from what I can see, Alex is targeting the only thing he can target right now, which is the knight. After this shooting phase is over, if the knight's still there, we're going to get Nick to go and have a look and see how many wounds he's got left, what the damage amounted to, and mostly that's just going to be. It's going to be a Basilisk, that's going to be the Craft Crusade, and that's going to be the Tank Commander. The only things that are going to do notable.
Imagine he's paying to shoot the Basilisk twice right now.
Absolutely, you would, wouldn't you? You would. Yeah. And his CP has gone down quite considerably. So he's got 2 battalions that he starts with. So he starts with 13 CP, and he's down to 3 left. So he's punched out 10 in the first two turns. I know he pays quite a few at the start of the game for, firstly for an assassin. Sorry, no, he doesn't pay for assassin, does he? Ben's got the assassin.
Ben has.
He pays for 2 specialist attachments, he pays for a couple of relics. So I think he started at 7, so he's punched out another 4 since the start of the game. You'd have to
It looks
assume.
like he's actually shooting at bikes.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. The only thing I can see the bikes would be the Basilisk. So you could double shoot the Basilisk into the bikes.
Could the knight?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Is that line like that piece of terrain in the middle? Are there any windows in the middle level?
Nah, it's literally a big gate, like this. I don't know how they've chosen to define it.
We had that discussion yesterday about that gate.
Well, I left it. So I leave it to each player to do, the players themselves to define what the terrain is. So I asked them, so you guys, everything's ruins, with the exception of the 3 middle pieces of terrain. So the right and the left ruins, they can both be determined to be enclosed ruins, should you wish, and the middle can be line of sight or non-line of sight blocking, should you wish. It's put there to be a piece of line of sight blocking terrain, but it doesn't have to be if both players agree. And it's not our place to tell them what the game is and what the terrain is. This is just a game of 40k, and we get to watch.
Absolutely.
So you'd have to assume that they can't see through. Otherwise, there was no point in Alex using that as a staging. He would have just moved in advanced. If you can just shoot through this gap, he should have just moved in advance and got another 6 inches. Because there's literally no point not to. So I think
unless he's just using the Basilisk.
Yeah, I think it's just the Basilisk and the Wyverns and the mortars. Yeah. Well, the mortars should just be trying to get his butchers. They should try to get his butchers build this turn, like wipe out the backfield guard squads.
So he should ignore the ones in the center top building and focus. There you go. Focus on the ones on the left.
Ones on the left. Yeah. You just picked them up.
Because they're on an objective and can hide on that objective the whole game.
Well, see, they're value adding. Those ones are value adding guardsmen. There's no one on objective 2. There's no value being added there from guardsmen. No point to pick those up.
Also, my point is that you can, if you clear that top left corner, if he wants to get hold more, he has to come out from hiding, which means things like the knight can suddenly see them. Any other threats that have range, even turrets on some of those tanks, potentially. Yeah.
Well, so he's dropped 1 Praetor, and I think where are we at? Yep, it looks like that's the end of the turn. Can you have a quick gaze at that knight and see what damage was taken?
These guys are speeding.
These guys are smashing it. Like, good, well done, both of them. You think Alex would be...
Impressive.
Alex has a lot of actions. He has a lot of units. He has a lot of shots. He could be taking a long time, and he's not. So I am quite happy with that. $17 left, so I took 7 wounds. Got through that pretty well. If that was the Tank Commander and the Cross Crusader both shooting into it, only taking 7 I think is reasonable. Doesn't even have to use a CP to act at full.
You're pretty choppy coming through Discord at the moment, mate. Just letting you know.
Ah, beauty. That's wonderful. Staying lubricated. It's the only way to stay. Where do we go from there? Nick's just getting a quick...
Down.
Yeah, it's all downhill from there. Nick's just getting a quick view of the top tables again. He's going to come back and give us a report. We're going to get the scores chucked in, I believe, at some point by Alex. I think they're just doing it at the end of the turn. End of the battle round.
Yeah.
So, if you are... So Mitch, if you are Ben right now, what is your play? What is your modus operandi?
Well, it's hard to see the verticality of the terrain right now. I don't know if he can hide to that ruin down to directly below the bikes, where the mortars are.
Yeah, that's a 6-inch ruin, so I would assume no.
Okay. Well, if he does, I mean, right now he's basically charging the light brigading it.
From my point of view, he needs to wrap something in his turn. If he does not wrap a unit in his turn, he can't leave where he is now.
That's what I was gonna say. He needs to go after this mortar unit down. Mortar units are great.
That big base.
Yeah, it looks like there's 3 of them at least.
Yeah, there will be 3 in there. So you believe that's the call? He should just jump out, Daka, clean this big like 2 or 3 units of guardsmen, and then wrap the mortars.
I would actually try and kill some of the screen more towards the tanks. Leave the guardsmen over there and declare a charge on everything, so you can hopefully roll hot and have multiple things you could wrap around. Yep. Because obviously, even if you're swinging with your base weapons as custodes against guard, you're probably going to kill some stuff. So it's going to give you a little bit more versatility there, because those guard aren't going to do anything, and if you charge them now, you're stopping them from going over and getting on that objective. It's gonna, because if he doesn't do that right now, the only other place he can go to the objective is up north to the top, and he can't really stop. But then he can hold a max of 2, and with the guard he has left, he could possibly be on 2 pretty easily.
Absolutely, dude. So Jason Cole's just asked where the Bullgren are. They're there.
They're there, bro. And no, Forge Well was not allowed.
No, it's a Terracon tradition we're hoping to get reneged next year, because it no longer has value. It used to be that was the simpler way to play the game, was just say, no Forge World, because all Forge World does is complicate shit, brings janky rules interactions that no one's ever heard of, and
I'd just like to say, some of the Custodes Forge World stuff is actually broken.
Yep.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mate, such as those damn flyers. Just ask WA.
The Orion dropships.
I don't know. I TO'd a major, and the guy who brought them went in too. He brought 3 Orions.
Wow.
Well,
you must have just run into some pantsing.
The guy who brought Orions, the ATC didn't drop a game. He then went to show, didn't drop a game. I've got. Let me just look at his results.
Yeah, so here's the thing, yeah. So the Orion is almost unfeasible. It's unattractive a list to play due to the cost of the fucking models. And we just had George put in the chat. It's $640 each. You can buy a not shit used car for the same amount as your 3 Orions. But the thing, the Orions take such a unique list adjustment to counter. They can just be auto-counted, really, quite convincingly. But they take such a meta adjustment that they're the kind of list, same as the old Flyers. They come in and they absolutely ruffle stomp for 3 to 6 months, and then they get pushed out. And I think that's what's going to happen.
I don't know. I don't see them actually being that great with how firepower is out there. I feel like you can build lots of Imperial lists that just kind of laugh off the Orion list.
Yep, that's fair. Look, Tank Commanders are actually really good against Orions. Orions actually quite because they win all their wounds are on 5s, and then they get either 4 or 5 up saves against their shots. So Tank Commanders are quite good at both killing them and surviving them. Like the Hammer of Sustenance. I'm going to say that so many more times today. Is actually quite good against them because they had their 5+ invuln, but have 3 up armor, so they're only getting their best save anyway. And then the flat 3 damage. The issue, and I'm happy now that they've lost prepared positions because when they could be -2 to hit turn 1 with a 2-up save, that was erroneously obnoxious. The Flyers losing prepared positions, I think, is a really good thing.
Agreed.
So in the last 17 games, Lachlan Rigg has played with Custodes. He's dropped 2 into 2 separate events, and those are some pretty top players over in WA. Didn't drop a game at the show singles. Didn't drop a game at ATC. Yeah.
So I think he's literally taking your advice, Mitch, and he's doing exactly what we thought he needed to do, which is focus on those bottom guardsmen and just get a nice clean wrap on the mortars. I'm interested to see if he drops his 2nd unit this turn. I think he shouldn't. I don't think he should drop his 3rd unit of jet bikes. I think he leaves them up there this turn, and also he's going to go and get cover on his Crusader as well. So the Crusader is tagging that ruin, and it will be 50% obscured. So now he's going to get a cover save.
He needs to kill. Right now, if that Crusader can just kill the Tank Commander
Huge.
with the Relic Cannon, that's what he needs to do.
Massive.
That is the move.
That 100%. I couldn't agree more. The Eversoul's also been dropped. He is right here. I think he's just going to go a blending and do what he does.
Interesting. I feel like.
I don't think it's been finalised.
Nah, he's got it in his hand.
Okay. Because I get what he's trying to do.
Dice check. Dice check. Dice check. Dice check. Dice check. Hamilton, whenever someone walks up to me and says someone made a stupidly crazy amount of saves or something, I just say dice check until they go away. Check his dice or fuck off. That literally is, yeah. Check his dice, or who cares, just roll with it, man. It's just Warhammer. Everyone's going to have crazy saves. So Hamilton just walked over and he said in his opponent's turn, he made 20 out of 24 4-up invulns on one of his knights. Which seems...
That's statistically possible, yeah.
Yeah, well, I just told him, check his dice. If you're worried about it, check his dice. Otherwise, sorry, dude, got nothing for you.
Look, 4-up invulns, it's the same thing that why Hive Tyrants were so polarizing. Because a 4-up invuln, if you roll hot, it's brutal. Because, I mean, you think about it, alright, cool, he did what, 24 wounds to the knight? Like, cool, yeah, sure, he should have passed 12 of them. Yep, he did pass more than average. But it's not like when you make someone take 100 saves and, they only fail 4.
But again, that's still within the realm of possibility. Like, the occurrence is much lower, but it should statistically occur once.
Yeah, statistically, he should save all 24 at some point in his life.
Exactly. So, you just gotta, let go of the dice save and just go. Yeah, he is dropping the bikes.
Yeah, I know.
That's what we should be focusing on.
I'm quietly going to say this could be a mistake. I think Jason Collins has just pointed it out. If he can wrap the mortar, it won't do him any. It won't give him any value if he's just placed another target on the table for him to clean up in his turn. I was of the opinion he should definitely drop next turn. And this turn, this is
weird because now he's just presenting. He has to get both of those guys wrapped in combat and the Eversoul wrapped in combat.
Which is very unlikely.
Yeah, I feel like right now this is his next turn to bid for reducing his opponent's firepower to kill his bike squads. If you kill the Relic Tank Commander, all that's really effective at your bike squads anymore is just the Knight. And you have a chance to drop in and possibly do something against that because, because after that, the Basilisk is going to be a problem, but he's already burning through his CP. That's only going to be a problem for so long. Yeah. There's only so much you can do about it. For those, you just got to rely on the invo.
We're just going to get we're just going to go down under pairings and have a quick look at the points in our game 2. They are not updating as they go. Scrubber dub dubs.
Not a lot that's happened on that table
Well,
just yet. It really is just long strike that does.
other games.
Yeah, I was just looking at another game. So we have the ability to look at the scorecard of every game going right now in the event, and so we can just we can just click on them and see see where they're at with their scores, because people score progressively through the program. But some people just don't do it. They mark it on paper and they just upload all the scores at the end, which is fine if that's your jam.
Eleanor's game on table 3 is quite interesting. They've been playing for quite a while.
Yep. Well, let's have a quick gaze. Table 3. There is no dead pile. Okay, that is unique, and they're also not uploading as they go. Oh well, good thing we make the stream table do it, so we got something to talk about.
I saw on the last table, Hayden versus Rob.
Yep.
Rob sent 2 flyers at a Basilisk and nailed it, but in turn he lost 3 Talos and one of his other planes. So
Okay.
the guard is being resilient there.
Well, he's got a very mech'd up guard list, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Looks like he has targeted these guys right here. I think that doesn't look like enough dice to be more than the unit, or more than just a single shield captain. It looks like he's done 5 wounds. Oh, so 3 wounds. Ooh. Okay, I've got no idea what they're doing now.
Neither. They're pointing at dice.
Yeah, they're just pointing at dice and saying random
That
words.
one's purple.
That's a purple dice.
I
This
named
one.
this one Steve.
Steve does roll better though.
Well, I mean, he has a name.
His
He's got
personality. He has a
reputation,
reason.
Like he's got something to live for.
Yeah.
He has a wife. He has kids.
He has
They're going
kids.
to college.
He's got a family. He's a family man, Steve.
He's got 2 D4s, man.
He's got and a D3 on the way. He's got a couple of D10s parked in the garage.
That's fucked up, man. Like, dice shouldn't ride dice.
No, they shouldn't ride dice. What are they? They've enslaved the D20 species to their will. They're like beasts of burden.
That's why we call them cock dice.
The D6 master race has enslaved its lesser brethren. Yeah.
I feel as though Nick's line didn't get enough credit there.
What was your line?
That's why we call them cock dice.
Oh wow. Boo. We're going strange new places with our content, Diffie.
Yeah.
All media is. You have to build your own universe, right?
That's
There has
right.
to be like, it's the Marvel universe, the Star Wars universe.
Dude, like, if Tolkien was writing this shit, they'd have their own language, like their own dice language.
Isn't that just binary code? Or that?
It would be, but except it goes to 6, dude. It's binary that goes to 6. What even is that?
You're gonna terrify Bender. He got scared when he saw it too.
So too, yeah. Looks like we've had not as many guys been picked up as I thought I was going to see. Looks like we're dialing up shots with the... What is he? Is he shooting the tank?
Yeah. Looks like he wants to try and take out the battle cannon tank.
What?
Yeah,
In
well, I mean that is the correct move.
but it looks like he's
But
shooting
he
bolters
fired
into
Knight
it.
already at it.
No, I don't. It doesn't. I
I
don't.
see a dice on top of it. Can we get a wound count on that?
Can we get a wing count on the battle cannon? Well, I thought, yeah. I'm perplexed. What has he got on the? Yeah, he's got all hurricanes. I was thinking maybe he has a cheeky salvo launcher in there, but no. He's got 1 left. So there's 1 wound left. So I'm assuming he has shot the knight into it, and he's. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
That makes more sense. He's shot the knight into it. He's left on 1 wound left. He might just try and pump bolters into it to try and finish it off.
Sure. Try and just chip off that last.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he's doing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I would
Like
do
I
that
said,
too.
That is huge. I mean, degrading it also great. That's still a considerable win for him, but it's not ideal.
Nah. Looks like he's got 2 or 3 saves. We'll see how many. He's choosing his dice very carefully. He wants to make sure he gets Steve and Marie, the happy couple. 3 saves. Oh, he's going. He's rolled. I saw a 2 there. Does not blow. You got him. Cool. Oh, you got his man in the end.
Steve let him down.
Steve,
let him down.
Yeah, Steve did let him down. Yeah.
Hey, don't you put that evil on Steve, Ricky Bobby, like that. That's not fair. Steve he just found out that his wife's going out with a DA, and he didn't know, like. Out.
That's fantastic.
He's got a
Like the
Upset
probability
table
curve, the
four.
probability
One
curve is so
second.
much higher. He can't compete with that. What is he supposed to do?
I know, it's just you can't measure up, man.
Mathematically, it's literally physics.
Well, it's you're just measuring cocked dice at that point, and at some point, some dice are just more cocked than others.
We're not actually putting this out to the internet, right?
This is live.
Yeah, like we wouldn't put this garbage out to the public.
You underestimate the level of brow of our constituents, of the people who watch this. Their brows are so low. Yeah, nothing is beyond them. We're getting an update from Nick on table 4. What's going on?
Table 4 has Jack the Spaceballs player from the stream on round 3. The Knight is dead. The Wolfen are dead.
Boo.
He's dead.
Okay.
It's not looking
I'm sorry, Mitchie. You're the champion of your people, the Valko Fenrica. It looks like he's going down on table 4.
That happens. Space Wolves tend to disappoint.
He didn't, for 3 rounds, he did not disappoint. He went 3-0, man. He went 3-0 at,
It's only a disappointment if there's hope, man.
There's hope. Is it, when hope is dead, you can no longer. At the death of expectation.
Yeah, we don't think we can't do it. We think we can, and that's why it's tragic.
Exactly right. If you give up all expectation, you can never be disappointed. I know that from playing Black Templars.
Black Templars are in a better place than Space Wolves.
They weren't fucking last year when I was playing them.
That's fair. Now they
Good dice.
That is a lot of dice. That'll be the 3-man
Bikes into the
unloading.
guardsmen, I
Yeah,
imagine.
unloading 30 into the guardsman. So just pick them up, dude. At that point, you're just like, I'm just gonna pick them up.
Hold on. How many hits does this guy just get?
All of them. They're hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s.
Jeez, that's
He can't pick up all of his dice.
Yeah,
First world problems.
exactly right. He's the Red Army in the Second World War.
Well, to be fair, in 40k lore, since Custodes are from Terra, they're Terran problems at that point.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Like,
Is Terra in the
oh
first
no,
world?
my gold armor was scuffed. Terran problems.
Yep, there they go. This 10-man's picked up.
Yeah, that's rough.
Well, this goes back to what Josh
I
was
feel
saying
like he
before,
should have
that
shot at
didn't
the
deploy
squad
anything in the
behind,
bottom
again,
corner.
giving him better targets.
He's tried to walk there and he can't make it.
Yeah,
Yep, that's right.
potentially. Or
So-
that being said,
Shield
it makes
captain
it probably makes it easier to wrap the mortars though now.
Well, so what you do at this point? So we know that deployment zone is 12 inches deep, correct? So, and those bikes are outside the deployment zone, whereas those guys look like they're about 4 inches up. So that's probably a 7-inch charge into them. And what you do is you'd only put like 2 or 3 guys there and leave one guy, even charge one guy up into the mortars, but leave him above. Get him to pile in within the 2 inches and use his attacks into the guardsman, and then when you use your pile in, you can spread him out and he can be the last pin on the tri-pin on the mortars.
No, I get that. It's just if you do that with the first squad and you kill the back squad, you can then, if you roll really well, jump behind really easily.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, and just get a better slingshot next turn.
Yeah, because it's not like Custodes bikes are afraid of sitting in around a combat with 20 guardsmen or 15 guard, whatever the number. They don't care. So killing the back squad, unless it was a rapid fire issue, maybe he just wasn't in range. Possible. That just seems like it makes that whole play easier for you. He can still pull it off, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But it's just, he's making it that much harder for him for a dice failure.
We just had some wounds put on a Bulgrin. Yeah, we just had some wounds put on a Bulgrin. Jason Collins, are the Custodes concerned about the Bulgrin though? Is it would you be concerned about the Bulgrin if you were the Custodes player? I would be.
I would.
I mean, yeah, they're the bad touch here. If you get into the Knight, at least you know you can damage into something you really want to do damage to. The Bulgrin, maybe you do damage, maybe you don't. It's a 4-up info off. It's and they do a consistent 2 damage. You do D3. They're strength 7 wounding you on 3s. You're wounding them on 3s. It's a toss up, right? And it's just more Bulgrin.
Yeah, there's more Bulgrin wounds than there are Custodes. And look, the Custodes are tougher, but They're both like, so if the Bulgrin charges the Custodes, it becomes very good for the Bulgrin. If the Custodes charge the Bulgrin, it's about 50-50. Just because the Bulgrin have a lot more wounds to soak. But then even then, like I think it just becomes a stalemate. But if the Bulgrin charges the Custodes bounce. They don't do any damage.
Something.
So I think the Eversaw is charged into the fucking Bulgrin. I think there is a purple dice there around a small model, and I can only assume that is a happy
What do
little.
you think's going in there?
That's the Eversaw. The Eversaw.
No, it's not. The Eversaw's still up there.
Where's the Eversaw? Eversaw's there.
There.
Yeah, it's true. What's this happy little guy?
I don't know.
He's rocking out pretty hard.
He's got a mohawk. He's a pretty cool dude.
Still metal fist.
Could he be a character? Could he be? I don't know.
Nick,
Is there two Eversaws?
discover. Well, there's just one. There's only one assassin on this table in this game.
Nick Kelly has entered the game.
He has. We've just rolled a charge, I believe.
Look like a 7.
Yeah.
Debating whether or not they'll be able to make it.
Yeah, they're doing the usual.
Well, why are they measuring around? It has fly. Fly applies in the charge.
That's correct. Doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I don't know why they're. That seems weird.
Yeah.
It's just Bulgrin's.
Jason Collins, it is 3 bikes and the shield captain.
The only characters that you can see.
Yeah, ruins are not a building. They are just terrain.
Yeah.
You still fly over them.
Colin, you can still fly
Buildings
over.
are actual. Yeah, buildings are actual.
Fortifications,
those are
bunkers.
Fortifications
Yeah.
have to have a wound statistic. You have
Yeah.
to be able to attack them. It's a whole separate thing.
Yeah.
It's not. That building has. That is not a building by the.
Yeah, and he's connected. That shield captain's connected.
Okay. There must be models we can't see there.
Yeah, there's 3 mortars in that unit, so I've got to assume there's 1, 2.
Yeah, maybe.
3.
It looks like there might be a second mortar unit in there, maybe.
Yeah, actually, yeah, possible. I can't see any others. He's got 2, so they could both be in there. And that was just by dint of just compacting this area so hard he couldn't fit them there.
So,
Well, I mean, yeah.
hold on. So the actual wording for fly it says if the data sheet, this is the FAQ, the latest FAQ. If the data sheet for a model says it can fly, then during the movement phase, it can move across models as if they were not there, and when moving across terrain features, vertical distance is not counted against, blah, blah, blah. If the data sheet for a model says it can fly, then during the charge phase, it can move across models other than buildings, as if they were not there. It doesn't say you can move over terrain features.
Ah, fair enough.
So you can go over screens, you just can't go over the ruin.
Interesting.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see why they decided to leave out terrain features in the charge phase.
I just want
It
to
looks
point
like the
something out.
bikes must have not
Yeah,
made the
dude.
charge.
Ben turned around, he looked at the roof, and he looked pretty frustrated. I think they must have rolled the snakes or something. So
And what about the top left?
the top left, I don't even know if they declared charge, or if they have their felled as well. So he's just like, oh well, I can't lock the mortars anymore. I'm just going to kill him. And he's picked up 2.
So am I right in thinking that he's now got an Eversaw, 3 bikes and 4 bikes with their dicks swinging in the wind?
Pissing in the wind. So they're
And
gonna
a captain.
and yeah.
Oh, and the captain, because the mortal will just go, all right, I'm no longer here. See you later.
Yeah. This is bad. This is real bad.
Oh.
And so you just kill. So you rescreen. So the Bulgrin themselves can just go kill this captain probably. You rescreen off this unit, and then you take out this top left unit because that's the one that's closest. You might even just shoot and charge the knight into it. To be honest.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance that the Lehman Russ on the left-hand side could just sneak up a little bit and then start unloading on those bikes.
Yeah, it's only a Punisher though. It's like at best it kills.
Well,
like,
you say that. All right, so let's say the Knight and the Punisher they'd be able to take out those 4, right?
If the knight charges, then probably.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, you don't have to charge; just shoot it, and then the other Punisher shoots the shield captain, and the Bulgrin's charge in after that, and all then you got left is what, 3 bikes?
3 bikes and a 1/3 dead Crusader.
Yeah.
He could just kill the
I don't
Crusader.
know.
He could just be like, well, I'm just going to pull back. He pulls back his entire line back into where they started, and just focuses. Aces the Crusader, aces the shield captain, and he's got another turn where he doesn't have anything to worry about. Alex he's just managed to get into that bottom right objective as well.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so lucky.
Yeah, they should be dead. Past that though, we've just had these scores updated for the top of turn 3. It is 10-11. So Ben did make some serious inroads in that turn. He picked up 4 for Kingslayer. It must have been the tank commander, the battle cannon tank commander for
Battle
Kingslayer.
Cannon tank commander.
He's got no mark for death. He's got 1 for Reaper, and he's got a kill more. What looks like a kill, a hold, and a kill more that turn. Whereas Alex has picked up 2. He still has 2 for Gang Pass. He's got another 1 for his. How can he have 3 for his Butcher's Bill already? This is turn 3. He can't be on 3 for his Butcher's Bill.
I don't know.
Okay, so Alex should be on 9. Bulgrin are coming out to play, and that's absolutely the right choice.
They're not going towards the...
They're not going towards the shield captain, which is
shield
weird.
captain.
Maybe they're just going to go ace the Eversaw.
Punch
Yeah,
him
and
in face.
the Crusader is going balls to the walls. He's coming right for him. I thought that was the right call. I thought he the Crusader gets the rerolls to hit on the charge, so shooting and then charging those into the 4 bikes I thought was a pretty good idea. Although it looks like a decent charge.
The play towards the Eversor is actually pretty. He makes that charge. He's slingshotting his Bulgrin towards the knight.
Yeah. So if he's in range to charge the knight, and declare the charge on him, you would, and then you just charge the Eversor and charge the knight and see if the 3-inch consolidate and piling can get you to tap the knight as well. The 3-inch consolidate. Piling, because you won't get attack on the consolidate. He could also try point the Eversaw and just sit there in front of the knight and say, "Hey, knight, you have to move away. You can't stay there," which I think is a good play. The Eversaw has 6 wounds with a 4+ invuln. So if you are not attacking if you were just attacking with close combat weapons, 2 or 3 Bulgrin are not going to kill an Eversaw.
1 Bulgrin.
True. Yeah, 1 Bulgrin. You put 1 within the 1 inch, and then the 2 stay out, and then they consolidate. Yeah.
1 Bulgrin fighting with a close combat weapon.
Yeah, not going to scratch him.
That
Ain't doing shit.
Eversaw.
Yeah, have
and
4.
then pile in, try point him, and then in his turn punch him with the whole unit. Look, you could. Warzone Wargaming is now hosting.
Thanks, Warzone Wargaming. Appreciate it, brother. That is Andrew Gerard and what's the other guy's name? Fuck. God damn it. Andrew Gerard from New South Wales have started a streaming service. They are starting to stream events as well.
Is he joining us today, you reckon?
He is going to be joining us at some point. I believe for the last game, he's definitely going to be jumping in.
So we've seen the mortar fall back.
Yeah.
He fell back.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is gonna hurt.
This is going to suck.
Well, so let's talk about like what needs to happen here for the player. We need to see the shield captain die. Period.
Yeah, it has to go.
That shield captain has to die. We need to see these Bulgrin make the charge to the Eversor. If they don't, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's actually kind of, you just put them out there. They're kind of not really. Your tanks are pretty exposed. If this top left-hand side of bike starts running rampant into the Punisher tank in the back, if they wrap that, then kill that on your turn.
Yeah.
Then your Basilisks and other things are really going to be scared soon. And your Bulgrin will have to fall back and you lose your front screen. So there is ways for this to go wrong.
Yeah, there is.
He has to kill that tank, or he has to kill the shield captain. He needs to kill that assassin, and ideally, he needs to get that upper bike unit to 2 or less.
I've just been informed that the other gentleman who's part of Warzone Wargaming is Hayden Ford. Yes, I knew his name started with
Hayden
H.
Ford.
I was about to call him Harold Ford, and I didn't want to do that because I looked like a dick. So I chose to say nothing instead. But from forevermore, he'll be known as Harold Ford.
I made a mistake, mate.
Just so we all know.
Sorry.
Who made a mistake?
I made a mistake. Jack Spafels are not completely dead.
He's-
The Wolfen were hiding in the Land Raider and they just charged a shitload.
You lied
Oh wow,
to me.
we lied. He fibbed. Nick was a fibber.
Lied.
And also, it's
I'll never
Hayden
forgive you.
Disco and Disco Inferno forward.
It is.
Come to LVO so you can fight me. They have a cage, a special one in the back room. It's how we settle rules disputes. Don't tell anyone.
Okay. With his Crusader, do you think his Crusader has to shoot the top unit of bikes, or should he shoot the other Crusader?
How many wounds are left on that Crusader?
It's taken 7, so it's got 17 left.
Ooh, I mean, I would go for the bikes. The Crusader.
I'll go for the bikes.
Yeah, the bikes are still what can win the game. The Crusader can't win the game for him.
Yeah. So
I agree.
the Bulgren are going to be the deterrent against his Crusader being aggressive as well.
Yeah. Yeah. The bikes can still pull this out. The Crusader cannot. And that's sort of the thing about Knights is they either kind of guarantee you win games you're already kind of in favor of winning, but they don't necessarily pull you back from the games where you're already gonna struggle.
Well, think about it like this: if those bikes are still on the board for 2 more turns, Ben just wins, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just over.
Well, he won't fail the charge again.
No, from nothing. Yeah, no, there'll be unfailable charges.
So I'm not seeing anything dying.
Yeah, me either. I haven't even seen any wounds put on anything.
There was a whole bunch of dice rolled, and no one's got any wound counters.
So there is a wound counter that has been placed on the shield captain. He has these little MDF turntable wound counters. They're pretty cool. And he just chucks them on his shield captain, smash captain, whatever. That dude. This guy.
He's a hero, is what he is.
He's about to. He's looking down the whole gun line.
So what with that shield captain? Do you should he have opened up with say first rank, second rank with the guardsmen who don't really have a better target anyway, and try and just get 1 maybe 2 wounds on the shield captain?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, they've got plenty of time left in this round. So I'm of the opinion that Alex has got the option to just use every bit of fire he's got, and he might as well. Look, that shield captain has the Auric Aquilus, so he's actually it's pointless to shoot any of the Crusader weapons into him, because he's still going to get a 3-up invulnerable save. So that is a pointless choice. So I'd be putting every other bit of fire I had into him. And even the Basilisk, putting the Basilisk in there is probably a useless choice as well. You'd probably shoot every other bit of fire you had into him, and then seeing if you had to put the Bassi in also.
Yeah, you shoot the stuff that he's going to get his regular save against anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the irrelevance
that
stuff.
also don't have other targets. So I'm like, those guardsmen are definitely the first unit that should be shooting, because if you roll hot, then suddenly you don't have to shoot the big guns at it anyway.
All right.
Oh, he's picked up Steve.
He's picked up Steve. Steve's back in play. No, this is not Steve. Alex has got Steve. So we need some names for Ben's couple. We've got Alice.
And Trevor.
Alice and Trevor. All right, beautiful. Well done. That was quick. So Alice and Trevor. Looks like.
We should workshop that a little more. Maybe do some role play and see really where Alice and Trevor are coming.
Well, they're an older couple, Alice and Trevor. They're in their middle years of their life. The curtain's not quite ready to close on them yet. They're still a very vibrant couple. They're getting out and about. They're very active in the community and in themselves.
I feel like Alice still really resents Trevor for making her give up that violin career for having kids. I really feel like that resentment is building to something, and that's where the story is. That's where we should explore.
That's where we're going to enter their narrative. And Alice has got some hard decisions to make in her life. Does she stay with Trevor and continue on this road that they've forged together?
This is just a dream of commentating on 4K.
Yeah, but Alice, she's been with this man for half her life now. They got together before she was 25, and they're in their 50s. Can she give up all this history?
When she was just a D3, they got together.
Yeah, she was just a D3 when they got together.
I don't really feel like that's how dice work. They don't level up
They don't level up. They go into a cocoon. You go into a pupa state and come out as like a D6.
You're hitting your 1000th roll as a D3. You'll soon be a D. You should prepare for the change. There's a lot more hair.
Or it's some kind of horrific body modification where you get extra sides added to you at a certain age. You go into an angle grinding workshop where they call it's for your own good, it's for the growth of society, but in reality it's just mutilation for the government's benefit.
Okay.
Anyway,
talk 40K.
Yeah. Also, Jason raised a good point. It looks like he is spreading his shots around, which means he's likely to not have killed anything probably at the end of this turn.
Which is odd. I'm not sure what the goal is there.
So it looks like he's
Maybe
killed.
He's just counting on hold more.
So
But
he's
that bike captain not dying is huge.
yeah. So the bike captain's still alive, and he's only lost one Virtus Praetor to all his fire. There is a propensity here for Alex to have a fluffer of a turn, and not do anywhere near enough of what he needs to, and then kind of just get crushed on the return fire. I'm of the opinion now that he can't afford to shoot the 4-man bike squad, and he has to charge it with the knight.
Yeah,
So just
I
just
think-
leave it alone now. Clear the 2-man, clear the shield captain.
Yeah.
Although he
Look,
can't shoot the shield
maybe-
captain. He can't shoot it with the knights. Everything else is closer.
No, so the knight should be the one then shooting at the remainder of the 2-man.
Yeah, the knight should clear the 2-man.
The Punisher should shoot the shield captain if he
Yeah.
hasn't already, and the other Punisher, sure, put him into the 4-man because he can't shoot anything else anyway. But like,
Here we go.
all right, it was at least a bit more of a handful of dice.
Yep. Oh wow. Okay, no, he split his fire. He shot the 4-man as well. He's shooting the 4-man.
so
He's shooting the 4-man with the knight.
That could have been the left.
Oh, that should have been the left-hand Punisher. Absolutely right.
Which didn't have another target anyway.
Yeah, it didn't have anything to shoot. Okay. Yep. So Gatling Cannon's going into the 4-man, the Battle Cannon's going into his knight,
Ooh.
and the Stubbers, and he's measuring for his flamer. He should have been. Oh, he's got to kill the 2-man. So Battle Cannon's going into his knight. The knight's got cover as well. The knight's going to get a 3 up here.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this move.
No, so the knight's going to get a 4 up. He doesn't have to spend any CP to get the 4 up. Yeah. Da. 2 wounds, 3 with the battle cannon. And does 1d3 damage. Wow, so that battle cannon was a total sum of 3 wounds on the knight. I just feel like that was a poor choice.
So that what puts him down to
10 wounds taken, so he's got 14 left. Still not even degraded. Here is the Gatling cannon into the 4-man. Yeah, look, Jason. That's probably exactly what he's thinking. He's trying to cut him down so his Bullgrim can mop him up later. He hasn't picked up a kill this turn. I think he should just secure 1 kill this turn. Looks like he has done 4 wounds. How many has he killed there?
So
Yeah.
let me ask you guys. I don't know.
Oh no! Sorry guys, he shot the 2-man. He made the right choice. He shot the 2-man, guys,
Yeah.
and he killed one
and he's killed one and put some wounds on another.
on the next one. Yeah, okay, good.
I think that's the correct
this is
move.
the flame in
So this turn maybe feels like a little bit like he's been like things have kind of gone his way and he didn't necessarily have an exact plan for how to go forward.
Yep.
And feels a little bit kind of spread out. Do you feel like maybe is that the case, or is that just kind of how it's just looking from us?
Well, so it's for us, it's looking like he's split his attention a little bit too much, and he's still killed 3 bikes this turn out of the 7 that were on the board,
which is great.
Which is fine. It's fine. The only thing that I would have said would have made this turn exactly what we thought it would be is if he picked up the shield captain as well.
Yeah, I guess that is the one thing where I was surprised that wasn't. But maybe he just doesn't feel like that's as high a priority.
No, he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. Yeah. Well, if the knight makes the charge into the bikes as well, I think he could still get. Well, he still accomplishes all his goals. Those bikes not being able to charge. Sorry.
Why did his opponent not pull the bike closest to the knight to shorten the chart, or
To shorten the charge. Yeah, I have no idea about that, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would. That would have been the obvious, overwhelmingly obvious option to my mind. Updates from table 2.
Hamilton's nailed one of the knights and hasn't lost much else.
Yep.
I think a couple of rolls went his way, judging by the cheering and noise I heard.
Okay, cool.
So I think it's going to be a bit of a tight one there.
Nice. Oh, that's good because one of those dudes are probably on our top table up next. So it is going to see Knights on Tower on our top table versus probably whoever wins out of this game.
Eleanor's game still has no dead pile.
Oh yeah, well that's also the other thing. If one of those guys have a big win, either of them could catapult.
Jace, I meant why didn't he Basilisk into the shield captain?
Yeah, that would have been the Bassi even double shooting into the shield captain. The first thing you fire that turn.
Captain.
Yeah, first thing you fire that turn, double shoot the Bassi in there.
So, look, it probably is still the closest, but it is the Basilisk closer to those that 3 up the top. I mean,
well, that's something the Basilisk could have moved and possibly changed.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's possible. But then do you waste a CP on something that's hitting on 5s?
Yeah. So Jace reckons that they actually did already try and check that.
Okay. That's fair. Looks like we're just rolling up a charge move, and we're just rolling up Overwatch against the Knight, I'm going to have to assume.
Alright, we're up to...
Here we go, he's made it in, guys. That's big, that's quite big. So even if none of those guys die, they are not charging anything next turn, so all they're going to be able to do is kill guardsmen next turn.
And even if they were somehow to kill the Knight, he has 1 CP left. I believe that's...
And the Bulgrin have made it, and he's doing the right thing, guys. He's moving well past that Eversaw. Okay, so this turn is looking really good again.
Yeah.
And I think you've picked it. He's only got one guy within an inch that I can see right now.
It's the right play.
It is absolutely the right play. Nick, has your training kicked in? Well, we'll see. This is a direct judgment of Nick Nanavati and his abilities.
And obviously just leaving the shield captain do his thing.
Yeah, look, the shield captain's going to go unmolested here. He could, even if he wanted to, charge 2 units of 10 guardsmen in there, just to deny him the charge.
I'd be considered to throw away some guardsmen.
At best, you only lose 5 guardsmen, you know? You're probably not going to...
That is a huge threat for the tank commander.
Yeah, huge, massively. You would charge both 10 men in, just so you guarantee one doesn't roll a 6 on the morale and pop.
Then all he's got left, there's a potential charge threat, and I'm talking like potential, is that solo biker, like who's a fair distance away.
Yeah, that's the only thing he has functional in the game. The only thing that can actually move and do things apart from the
George,
Crusader.
you're talking perfect math. That's not really practical.
Oh, look what he's done. He has managed to get a Bulgrin onto that objective. Well done, Alex. Well done indeed.
How is he moving towards the Knight? Is the Knight the closest model?
Yeah, it was. He measured it.
Okay, cool. Hey, yeah, that is huge to contest that because it doesn't look like he has any, like now.
He has no other objectives.
That's really game, set, and match right there.
I think so. I think this is going to see Alex catapult up to about 16, about 16 points on the board, and it doesn't look like Ben's going to maybe past a kill. He hasn't charged the guardsman into the shield captain. That's fair enough. Like, it might not have been something he saw. Man, it looks like he's made enough big plays here to pretty much secure this game. What have we got here? Looks like we've got 6 wounds. 6 wounds onto the bikes. And he has failed. Oh no, this is the Bulgrin into the Eversaw. It looks like he's just going to go punt him. Does he explode? I believe he is dead. Hamilton's very happy. When you look at Hamilton and he's exclaiming about how bad his opponents were. Yeah, when you can hear it, when Hamilton's voice starts rising to the pitch where you can hear him in a room, you're like, he must be doing well. So the Eversaw has just been drop punted by what looks to be 7 Bulgrin. He's not going to survive that. He's just going to get absolutely steamrolled off. So this must be the Knight here. Yeah, that looks like 12 dice. And he's going to get rerolls on the charge for being crossed. And he's going to be winning on 3s. 7 wounds onto the bikes, guys. Which on 4 pluses, so whether he gets a better side or the bad side of the averages, could see him lose 2 bikes. Most likely he only loses 1 though. 3 go through. 3d3 wounds. We'll see what this clock's up to. First one is a 2 and a 1. Yeah, he's only going to kill 1. Yeah, kills 1 bike.
That is,
Crusader
however, punted,
Pace.
and he has completely removed the offensive.
Yeah. So he's just deciding which one he's going to take away. They took away the back one, no problems there. So what were you saying, Nick?
Michael drop punted Peter's Crusader to the dead pile. So
Yep.
2 knights now dead.
So 2 knights now dead. Both Crusaders?
Nah, one's a warden.
George, you do not get your house trait if you are a super heavy on.
Yeah, sorry, he doesn't get rerolls to hit. He gets rerolls ones because he has the Warlord trait, the Crass Warlord trait.
Yeah, the Crass Warlord trait gives that.
Yeah, apologies, guys. I misspoke. So yeah, it looks like the only operational portions of his army are going to be the 2 single bikes, one of them being a shield captain and a crusader, which is looking quite poorly for Mr. Ben. I'm interested to see where the scores sit at the end of this round, because this is only the top of turn 3. These guys have rocketed along, and the butchery has been pretty extensive. What do you? So a lot of people are saying, Mitch, this is a broader meta perspective. A lot of people are saying Custodes should get the bolter rule. What are your thoughts?
They don't need it. I feel like that's just people wanting great units to be better. I think Custodes are one of the more well balanced and flavored armies in the game. They need more unit variety, but that'll come in time. They already want to get up close and personal. I get the idea. Hey, these guys are better shots. That's already reflected in that they are ballistic.
2+, yeah.
I don't know that that's necessarily needed.
So from my point of view, all it does is make the bikes better. Like, it makes the bikes much better, but it doesn't. It would be making the Custodes Guard and the Wardens and all that stuff considerably better as well. But those are units that are usually deep striking, so they're usually deep striking into rapid fire range. Whereas it would just it would inadvertently help bikes more than would help the things you're hoping it would help. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it also gives Space Marines a flavor of because they work big, as these squads that they rapid fire, more accurately with bolters. Whereas Custodes, they're just generally better in superior.
Yeah. If you see where he's placed his shield captain, he's just jumped him up there. He's going to tap both this commander and this Wyvern, and he's going to just take them out of the game for a while. And then the turn after that, he probably just falls back and eats a couple of characters. These two bikes here have fallen back. They're going to clear this objective. This bike has fallen back. He's the only one who's eligible to charge. He should be able to clear this objective himself. And that doesn't look too bad for him points wise. But what it's going to do is he's going to get him some points in the short term, but he's just going to lose them all next turn. We're going for some night on night love right here, guys. The one Crusader is pushing up and he's about to go in full balls deep on the other Crusader. And he's moved around as well so he can get fire into the Bullgren. Because like we said, he couldn't stay there. He could not stay where he was, that Crusader, because firstly, he wasn't holding an objective. He was going to get charged by Bullgren without getting an Overwatch, and he was just going to get wrapped and mulched. So he had to move, and because he was getting no value. George is saying Custode Guards need 4 attacks or a points drop. I think I could still go down quite a few points.
Oh,
Maybe.
They need a points drop for sure. Your basic battalion for Custodes has to be lower if we're gonna everyone wants to talk about play a mono codex army. Cool, that's fine. To do that, I need to have battalions that don't cost minimum
700 points. Yeah. So I'm of the opinion that battalions should be weighted differently. We shouldn't, a Custodes battalion should give you more CP than a Guard battalion does.
Yeah.
A Guard battalion costs you 180 points. Custodes ones cost you 640 or some shit.
Here's another thought. I mean, Inquisition, maybe Inquisition should be able to be used with Custodes without it changing.
Yeah, same with Sisters of Silence. They're fluff-wise, those two have worked together since 10,000 years.
No, that makes perfect sense. Unfortunately, you don't get any troops.
Well, currently, but maybe you should.
Nice. Crusader versus Crusader, and one of these Crusaders is on 14 wounds, the other one is untouched. What is going to happen here? Leave me hanging, boys.
Sorry, what was the question?
Crusader on Crusader. What's the likelihood? What's going to happen here? And also, just in case he doesn't charge, has he moved within 3 inches of the other Crusader for a heroic intervention?
Potentially.
Do you think so? Do you think that's 3 inches, Mitch? I think it's more than 3. Have we lost Mitch?
No, I was just muted.
All right, fair enough. Do what you got to do, man. Looks like he's got 12 dice there, and he's getting another. So this has got to be this.
They're
top...
just going to kick each other in the shins.
They are, yeah, they are. He's got this top unit of Praetors. They're just going to shoot their 24 shots, and they're going to pick up that unit of 10 Guardsmen. There's no way they survive that. Even if they do survive that, whatever, they're going to pop to morale.
The big thing here is he needs to kill the other knight because he's going to get a shooting phase. Then he's going to charge, which gives his opponent a free shooting phase, which is it's not an optimal shooting phase, but it's still free. And if he does not kill his opponent in close combat, he's either going to lose his knight or the other opponent's knight is going to be able to fall back, shoot, and not even care.
And I will point out to you right now, Alex is sitting on 1 CP, whereas Ben is on 0. So even if he gets him down to his lowest profile, he doesn't finish him off. He just falls back, shoots at full, charges in, fights at full, and he will finish him off. 14 wounds is not that big a deal for a fully fledged Crusader to do another one, but 24 is a big deal. 24 is a big ask for one Crusader versus another one.
So he needs a really good shooting phase.
Yeah. Now, one thing Alex has got to not do is use that CP on a rotate now. He's just going to be like, I've got 24. He's not going to get through all of them. I won't rotate. I'll just save it. Because he could bust it on a rotate Ion Shield if he thinks the Crusader has a good chance of actually doing major damage in the shooting phase. And looks like he's got the Gatling Cannon, or either that, or is this the other Virtus Praetor. The problem here is all these things shoot 12 shots, so they're only rolling 12 dice, so it's hard to pick which one's which.
We should get them to point at units.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should get big neon pointers. Hamilton just said the magic lines, the magic tower lines, which is I am doing good because I'm playing tower. Dude, TAS suck. I'm playing tower for ETC and TAS suck.
And you fucking love it.
Is that dude dead?
Nah, he's moving.
He's moving sick. Terracon. So people have slept in this venue overnight, and there's a gentleman that hasn't moved in about 2 hours, asleep in the sleeping bag to our left, and I'm just like, he hasn't moved in a couple of hours. I'm like, is he just dead? He could just be a dead dude. People die.
Pretty classic Terracon songs before people just standing around with their heads down, puking out.
So I've got a great story from a Terracon a few years ago against Matt Morrisoli. So this was hold on, I'm going to mute off for a second because I'm going to go save a chat.
Baby.
I could continue that story, but there's a lot of stories involving Matt Morrisoli. I don't know which one you're actually going for.
So it looks like there is... How many guys were left there? Out of that 10 men? Looks like there's 2 left out of 10 men. So 8 have gone down to the two rounds of the Praetors. So they are leadership 7 with the Sergeant, and they've lost 8 guys. So they're auto-popping. That's true, yeah, Mitch?
Yeah, level their
There's
leadership
only one CP,
8, unless they're near an officer, then he can't auto.
Yeah. So those guys are dead. The bottom right-hand corner looks like it has only 2 or 3 guys left, but that is the Praetor that is eligible to charge, so he can just charge in and finish those guys off. What are we talking about here? We've got a rules. Someone's looking up some rules.
We've got Matt Cross standing behind us.
Yeah, Matt Cross, man who knocked me off last year. How you doing?
Currently the number 1 point getter in all of Terracon.
In Terracon history, this guy has gotten more points, and he's wearing his lovely cat shirt. Look at the kitties. This gives him his magical powers. This is why he's so good at 40k. If he's not wearing the shirt, apparently he doesn't work. At least that's what his partner tells me. Damn, that's right. That was a good response. I was trying to sass you, and he sassed me back. Unsassable. So we have had the guardsmen from the top left-hand corner. They have been picked up. There is no longer a squad there. The guardsmen here are not long for this world. The Virtus Praetor, I don't know what he can do here. Maybe he just shoots back into the guardsmen here because he's 12 bolter shots are not going to do shit to these 2 vehicles, especially one of them being toughness 8. I don't believe I don't believe this Crusader is shot yet. So because we haven't seen any dice added anywhere. Now, obviously, they do shoot into the other Crusader. He wouldn't shoot into the Bulgrin, would he? Surely.
It's a waste of shots at this point.
Yeah, it is. And they're both bad profiles for shooting at Bulgrin. They're only -2. The Bulgrin have a standing 1-up save, so they're going to have a 3+ against it. And then your 2 damage does nothing versus their 3 wounds. So it's 2 shots to kill 1, and then your D3 damage can be really unreliable against their 3 wounds.
I think you're better off letting Alex play his original game and corner him. You want to be going for the other straggling units of guardsmen that could push out to another one.
Yeah, well,
Anything that can shrink the win, I
he's
guess.
too close to that knight though, and he's already almost half dead. He has to kill his knight or risk losing his. I think it's a big gamble. He has to pull it now. Mitch, is that what you're seeing as well?
If he gets the knight right, but I mean, it's still rough. Those Bulgrin are going to clean up the knight no matter what, and then you're left with
I think
essentially 4 bikes and some dudes.
Yeah, well, I'm of the opinion there's nothing he can do to keep his Crusader alive now with its board position. So I think he just needs to try and take a big scalp on his way out, take his pound of flesh before he goes.
So what he needs to do is he needs to pivot that knight to be as close to the Bulgrin as possible while being in combat with the other knight, so that if his knight dies, you can try and explode it and really pile some damage into the Bulgrin.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Looks like we've got some looks like we've had the Storm Spear rocket pod shoot into the knight. It's done 2d6 damage. Not quite sure how many that was. It didn't look like it was more than 7. Because no additional d6 hasn't been added to that pile. He's gotten 5 wounds through on the. Sorry, he's got 1 wound through on the relic battle cannon. It looks like. So not the relic battle cannon, the regular battle cannon. I'm too used to saying hammer of sustenance now.
There's a lot of things that you say
So
on the stream we could make into t-shirts.
Absolutely, hammer of sustenance. It's just a sandwich on a battle cannon. A battle cannon shooting a sandwich.
I think that the one thing that I would have probably done differently from the get-go from Alex's perspective is if he could have kept his hammer, his relic tank commander back where that basilisk was.
Yeah.
I think it would still be alive.
I think it'd still be alive as well, man. And I think that'd have been you just give up. Hey, I'm not going to shoot the plasma
that's another
cannons.
way to just game.
He
the
shot
game in his favor.
He shot Bulgrin, man.
That's interesting to me. Does he just think he's going to ace the knight?
Because the knight's
Or is
dead.
he just...
The knight died. That was the explosion off the knight, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the explosion off the knight just killed a Bulgrin.
Gotcha.
Golly gosh. That's a swing.
That he needed that to happen.
He
to
did.
Stand this game.
Alright, so it might not be... Wow, okay.
Bulgrin's going to go punch them right, I think.
Yeah, that was not combat, Jason. That was shooting. That's wow.
He needs to charge those Bulgrin to just try.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's 2 options here. So he can charge the Bulgrin right now. I think that's really his only play, because if he doesn't, the Bulgrin are going to go after him.
Yeah, he does. He has to charge a Bulgrin. He needs it on his terms now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a big swing in this game. They're huge. He must have taken wounds on the night before. He must have.
Yeah.
There's no way he dealt 24 to him then.
No, I don't think so. I think that's something we must.
Yeah, we must have missed some wounds.
Damage earlier on. He was probably putting the battle cannon in every turn.
Yeah, that'd make sense. Yeah, battle cannon into there every turn, and then the storm spear and the gatling into something else.
Yeah.
Or maybe just a storm spear. Like the storm spear over time, the d6 damage will get through eventually. And it's just baiting out the rotate as well, which just costs you resources. Okay, that's changed this game quite considerably. So that Basilisk has to do some work now. That Bassi has to pick up, so that shield captain 100% has to go.
This is why the shield captain needed to die.
Needed to go last turn, yeah.
You couldn't rely on the knight or the Bulgrin to be available to clear him out. You needed to kill him.
So now the Bulgrin have to go kill the knight. He has nothing else that'll pull that knight down now.
Yeah, the Bulgrin, he has to make a choice now. Does he think that his shooting can kill the shield captain? And that shooting being the Basilisk and 1 Punisher cannon. Otherwise, the Bulgrin need to go deal with it, but then he's giving up mid-board control.
Yeah, and he's giving up the knight.
The knight gets to completely reestablish itself. And he's going to get at least 2 more rounds of shooting. There's a lot. Now he has to make some hard decisions. If it's me, I fall back with my vehicles. I take my 20 guardsmen. I charge that captain, and I send my Bulgrin over to the knight.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I pull hard back with my with that Punisher tank up on the left, away from those spikes, so that they don't have a viable charge. so that I can put them off for at least another turn.
100%, dude. So we're in combat now. It looks like the Praetor on the right has picked up that unit of guardsmen, so he now holds the top left and bottom right objectives. This is the shield captain attacking into one of the tanks. I'm assuming he's going for the... I mean, they're about the same to wound. He's winning both on 5s, and they get 6-up saves, but I think the tank commander has more wounds. I think he has 1 or 2 more wounds. 3 more
What
wounds.
happened to the knight?
Shut, buddy.
The knight went down, dude.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'll
And
walk.
took some bulgums with it.
So, am I right in thinking that the top left-hand corner is being cleared by those 2 bites?
So the
Bottom
bikes...
left-hand corner, so bottom right-hand corner is being cleared by that 1 bite.
Yep.
And the knight took out a knight. That is a massive turn for Ben.
He just took a wound on his Praetor. 2 wounds left on the shield captain. Yeah, 2 wounds left on the shield captain. He just took a wound somewhere.
Did the shield captain just get punched in the face by a
think
tank
just-
commander?
Yeah, he just confirmed 2 wins left on the shield captain. So there's a couple wins left on the Virtus Praetor in the bottom. So this Virtus Praetor has unknown amount of wounds. There's 2 left here. These 2 both seemed untouched, so they're on 4 apiece. Look, he's actually done a really good turn. That's actually a very productive turn for him. We have seen Ben go up in points. So it's looking 12 to 15 now. I think they're still putting points in. They're just updating the scores now. Wow, big turn for Ben. Well done. Picking up that knight is fucking massive. No, he did make it. It doesn't look like the knight made the charge into the Bulgan. It looks like it's probably around a 7 or an 8. So, and he hasn't got any CP to reroll it. Wow, so Ben gone up to 16. 12 to 16 to Ben. Shit, that turn. Wow. So would in hindsight, guys, would he have been better off just killing off the right-hand unit of Praetors? So if that Praetor wasn't here, this bottom section of the board is no longer Ben's, and it'll be Alex's for the rest of the game. There's nothing Ben could do to get it back. Charging. Yeah. If the knight still goes down and the shield captain goes down, it's probably still game. Over the time, with this only being turned 4, 2 more turns of the basilisks, they will take. Just the Bassi. 2 more turns of the Bassi, and he'll only have maybe one of these 2 Virtus Praetors will be still alive. So as long as he gets the knight down, there's still a big swing. The points. Look, it's 5 points up now. It was 1 point different, and he's made it a 4 point difference. So just off that turn. So really well done, Ben. Sorry?
Mitch is having some sound issues. He's trying to get it back.
Okay. No worries, Mitchy. You're gonna miss. This is the crux of the game, baby. This is the bottom of the 9s. This is where the good stuff comes in. Where you see the tactic. No, well you do. You see the depth of people's tactical brains come to play.
You do.
And they start to pull out start to do the stuff that needs to happen. I love this bit. This is my favorite bit of every game.
It's also where there's the most diverse amount of choices for single units.
Yeah.
That it becomes very, very difficult to call what someone's going to do.
Okay, how many Bulgan we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5, 6 Bulgan there. They're gonna have 4 attacks each with the priest. So it's 21 attacks hitting on 3s. What is that? 16 hits. Winning on 5s. So he's gonna get what? 8. No. He's gonna get 6 or 7 wounds. And he's going to get a 4-up save. So look, he's probably only going to do like 8 wounds to the knight. He might not kill the knight, guys.
Where are the 2 astropaths?
Maybe he needs to put the... Sorry?
Where are the 2 astropaths? They're bottom left.
So they're here. Those 2, what we thought were purple dice, they're both astropaths. So does that mean...
Could he do double baby smites?
They could
Or
do...
double,
Well, they only smite on a 5+. But
Yeah,
they get D3 damage smites, but it only goes off on a 5+. Maybe that's worth it, because he gets one of those off. He can just smite out that shield captain, and then actually that might be a play there. That saves you a lot of shooting to put elsewhere.
Yeah.
Mitch would agree. If Mitch was here, he would agree, 100%.
Yeah. I'd agree with me as well.
Who's talking to us? What's up?
Did we see what he rolled for Smite?
We can't roll back until we end it.
What's the question?
Alex is of the opinion that he's rolled a 6 for a smite. He did what we thought he was going to do. He's going to try and smite with the Astropath to kill out the shield captain. He is insisting that he rolled a 6. He wants us to roll back to vision so we can see the 6. And I say we can't roll it back without ending the stream.
We wouldn't see it anyway.
We wouldn't see it anyway. Alex. Yeah, so he's insistent he rolled a 6. There's a bit of a disagreement because his opponent did not see it. And Alex is 100% he rolled it. He's telling us to roll back to vision and have a look.
Well, it's bad luck.
We can't see it from here anyway, guys. We can't see what's on the dice from here anyway. We can't see the results on the dice. Yeah, so his opponent's just said, I didn't see it, man. I didn't see it.
Well, that's look. If you roll a psychic power, you've got to let the opponent see the dice before you pick them up.
That's true. Yeah, if you rolled a freaking 6 on a 5+ for an Astropath, you'd be like, 6! Look at it, it's right there, 6!
Alright, then how about that 5 then? Is the psychic test then? That's it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. So they've come to an agreement. That's cool. So so his second roll on the Astropath was a 5 anyway, and they just ran with that. So no problems. That was amicably resolved. They did good.
So what was it? The second roll was a 6 anyway.
So his second cast was a 5. Sorry, his first one was a 6 to get it off, and the second one was a 5. And the 5 was enough to. And then he rolled a 2. He rolled 2 on the amount of mortal wounds, and didn't roll any 6s for the feel no pain. Picked it up anyway. Easy done. So no drama occurred. I'm doing my Jedi mind tricks. The Bass, everything's going to go to the 9, I think. I just did the math in my head of the Borgren only doing like 6 to 8 wounds to the Knight, and we know he's got 14 left. I think everything's got to go into the Knight.
Yeah. Well, and the Bullgrins, do the Bullgrins get a job done?
No, I just did the math in my head then. So, Disco. Mitch can't hear us. Apparently, Mitch is having some technical difficulties. We can't hear him either.
I can't hear him on Discord.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Try turning it off and on again, Mitch. Unplug it and plug it back in again.
I didn't hear him leave.
That's actually legit.
It's weird the sound is working otherwise. Wow, that is really strange. Diffy, can you speak?
I'm speaking.
Yeah, Diffy's coming through Discord. I have no idea. I just told him to restart his computer. Anyway, we'll get back to this. This game is tight,
You
guys.
told him to restart his computer.
Just restart your computer.
Just
Unplug the whole thing and plug it back in again.
I heard you, Nick. You didn't have to restart the computer. You could have just disconnected from Discord.
He said he's tried that.
All right.
So he has just disconnected. We'll see if we can get Mitchy back, because I'm sure he wants to catch the conclusion of this, because this is pretty significant. So George has just done the math for us. So yeah, he does 5 to 6 wounds on the Knight with the Bullgren. It's not that much. If he had a full 10-man, he's likely to half kill it. So this looks like it is a Punisher. I'm assuming the Punisher is going to be going into... Is that Diffy eating chips?
No.
He is eating chips, guys. He's trying to hide them from us.
It's Starburst Party Mix.
Okay, that's far worse. Chips would have been better. Starburst party mix. You're a strange dude. This round, what is left in this round, by the way? Because these guys have been moving at a very good pace. They're at the bottom of turn 4, and they have 45 minutes left, essentially. Diffy's having a party in his bed. If only we were all invited.
Well, you are. You're all in there with me.
He was shooting the Punisher. So he was shooting this Punisher into the various preyers. Looks like he's done at least a couple of wounds there because he's got a wing counter.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. All right. Yes, the Bullgren might not finish off the Knight. I'll give you that. But if he can deal with the last 3 jet bikes, that Knight can't win in the game.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he doesn't have the board presence to... Yeah, it's true, actually. That's absolutely right. But see, with the Bullgren where they are, they've committed to the Knight already. So maybe you just double down.
But, look, I think you degraded enough and...
He hasn't degraded. He hasn't got him half dead.
No, but if you charge in, like he's
But,
on
so-
14 wounds left at the moment.
Yeah.
So if he charges in, he's going to do 5.
Basilisk. So Basilisk just shot and removed this bottom right unit. So this bottom right Veritas Praetor. So that has cleaned up the bottom right flank for Alex. So that is pretty good for him. He's now moving and he's double moved some guardsmen to jump onto the middle objective. So it's the Basilisk shot. It's just the Bulgars. So it's just charge time now. The shield captain's been picked up. The single Veritas Praetor's been picked up. And if he can roll like an absolute freaking god, technically he can kill the Crusader as well. In which case they might as well shake. This is over. If the Crusader is still there, which is likely it is. What does he shoot with the Crusader next then? What would you do, Diffie?
I'd be focusing on the line of sight, the indirect firing guns. So I'd be firing on the Basilisk and be firing on the Wyvern.
Yeah, that's fair.
Although that being said, the guardsmen that just got shot with mortars in the top center ruin, they weren't scoring anything.
Yeah. So he's got guardsmen. So there's still guardsmen left for Ben, and they've just been sitting here, adding no value.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Hey, Mitchy boy. So game state has changed a little bit since you were gone, Mitch. We have lost a shield captain that was on top of those crates has been picked up, and also the Veritas Praetor, the single one in the bottom right-hand corner, has been picked up as well.
I see that. That is another swing back the other way.
Yeah, and we've had some.
The two astropaths did their 1d6 smites and took out
one of them. Yeah, got one of them through and killed off the bike, the shield captain, which is pretty funny.
And then the Basilisk took out the other.
Basilisk took out the one on the bottom right.
There was, when I restarted my computer, there was some controversy about a 6 being rolled. Was it re-rolled?
So Alex rolled his first Astropath smite, and he rolled a 6, but his opponent didn't see it. Now I didn't see that interaction. I just saw Alex's insistence that he rolled a 6, and he wanted us to roll back the video so he could see it. I said we can't roll it back until the stream's ended, and even if we can, it's not guaranteed, or it's pretty unlikely we're going to be able to see the result on a single D6.
But we could ask Steve. As well as Trevor, what they saw.
Yeah, Steve and Trevor, they'd know what's going on. So, but then he just rolled his second Astropath. He got a 5 anyway. So that second smite went off regardless. And they were happy to count that second smite as the smite for the first roll. So it wouldn't have been a 6 to get it off. And that went through. That did two mortal wounds. He didn't roll a 6 for his special Emperor is watching us save, and dead shield captain.
Just looking at Tabletop, and there is another knight in the dead pile.
There's another knight dead on the tower versus knight table. That could only mean that Hamilton is cleaning that clock. And the Bulgren have just made contact with the knight, but it looks like he lost another one on Overwatch because there's only 5 there. 5 bases I can see.
I think there actually might be 6.
Might be 6?
Yeah.
Yep, I can see. Yep, I think you're right. We did the math there, Mitch. They've got 4 attacks each, or they have 5 attacks each on the charge?
What was that? You broke up.
Bulgren, 3 attacks base, yeah? They get +1 on the charge, I believe. +1 attack.
Yep.
And then Priest will give them another one, yeah? So they could have 5 attacks each, correct?
Does he have a priest?
I don't think there's a priest with him, but he could technically, it could be there and we can't see it.
Looks like the Bulgren have done their damage.
Yeah, it looks like they've done what they're going to do. We did the math on it, and with the 6 Bulgren with 4 attacks each, they were only going to do between like 6 and 8 wounds, which means the knight would be on 8 left, so still not degraded to its second profile, but enough to do some stuff back. What's he attacking with now? He just got some mortars, so he's just shooting some mortars into some guardsmen at the back.
I don't think there's a priest in that list.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the 2 Astropaths, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just double checking.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So they're only ever going to have 4 attacks, so the math still holds. He's only going to do 6 to 8 wounds. Yeah, this game is very surprisingly close. At the outset of this game, we thought it was pretty heavily in Alex's favour, just due to the deployment map, because I actually thought it was Vanguard, so... And due to Alex going first and things, I thought Alex was heavily...
Someone had Butcher's Bill with 3 points before they could possibly have had
yeah,
it. I
so Alex has 1 less point than we think he does, I believe. Okay. Although I'm pretty sure he's picked up his 3rd Butcher's Bill by now. It's turn 4.
Yeah.
I'd say he's picked up his third butchered bills now, which is fine, but he had it accounted for by turn 2, which wasn't correct. And here we go. This is the stomps. This is the tap dance. Looks like he's only hit with 4, and he has 3 wounds. So these will be 3 up saves. He's taking 4 up armors.
And I just sent you a link in Messenger, Adam. If you can post that in the chat.
Ba-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-ba.
So Jason's just thrown out there that by the way, these objectives are great for stream. Yeah, they're not only just great for stream, but they're also great for just general play. And
Oh
you know
my
what?
god!
You
And
can
we've got them
find
for sale. Golly gosh, guys! click on that link if you're interested in those guys. Give us a PM. We will get you hooked up as soon as we are able to.
Yeah, so just click on that link, and it goes to our Facebook shop. You can buy those.
Can you go ahead and get us the gears on that knight? See how many's got left. Thank you so much, Nick. $229.95. They come with a set of steak knives. They may or may not come with a saucy picture of Diffie on his bed.
I'm sure we can arrange something.
We can totally arrange something like that, dude. I wanted to crop that out and put you on like a grand piano in like glamorous dress. 5 wounds left on the knight. So he went in and he did exactly what he did. The 8 wounds we thought he was going to do. Well, so he did 6 wounds. He must have taken 1 from elsewhere. Doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Over. Okay. Hamilton has just killed the last knight in that game, so that is pretty clearly in Hamilton's favour. He's going to be on our top table. We will see Tau versus somebody. Guess who wrote that Tau list? It was me.
Well, you wrote some of it.
I wrote the best bit of it, which was everything except the broadsides. He put broadsides in because he's a chump. Broadsides are for the weak.
Well.
Broadsides are for people who need to hit barns.
That's right, exactly right. Just because you can have broadsides doesn't mean you should.
Oh, you see Jason's...
Chippy is alive, okay. Can he be playing with the objective on his bed? George, George, next game will be the top table, will be the final top table to crown the champion of Terracon 2019.
Well, maybe.
So Terracon is in the middle of absolute bum F nowhere. So they usually only restrict this to 5 games, simply because a lot of people need to get home after the event. I've got to drive, so when this event ends, I've got to drive 3 hours and 45 minutes back to my house, which actually isn't all that bad. A lot of other people have to drive 5 or 6 hours, so they always reduce to 5 rounds. But if they're going to continue to get 100, 120 players, which is what they could easily have gotten to this year, I think they might go to 6 rounds. Because it's possible for them to have 3 undefeated players at the end of this. I think the TOs realise that.
There's 3.2-ish?
Yeah, so one guy who's probably got a draw and 4 wins, and 3 guys with 5 wins. Whereas if we had one more round, sort that out for us.
We're going to film or stream the top tables in the final round, but there will be 2 additional tables which have undefeated players on them.
Yeah, which have contenders.
The winner of the stream game may not win the event because they may get leaped.
Yeah, they will be the 2 highest scored people as of the end of round 4.
Hayden on table 5 look like he's going 4 wins, 0 losses.
Nice, wow, Hayden Mansky. There you go. Who wrote that list? Goathouse. How do you determine who will stream? Well, the last table, we just take the first and second ranked players. We have done that so these 2 gentlemen you're seeing right now are the first and second ranked players as of the end of round 3. And we did that for game 3 as well. So for game 3, game 4, and game 5, because they've all been players we haven't had on before, we decided to just chuck them on. Whoever the top ranked guys, chuck them on. We do it differently depending on the format of the event. We try and keep it unique. We try and give you guys armies that are well matched against each other, with players who are well matched against each other, and that's really telling on this table. This could have, if one of these guys was not up to the level of the other one, this could have been an absolute drumming, one way or another.
But conveniently, I mean, look, game 4 of an event this size, 2 undefeated players. They're both played well.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about where things are now. The knight has moved
Yeah.
up. Virtus Praetors have dropped down. They're very clearly going to charge. I'm thinking that's either like an assassin or a character over on that objective.
Objective, yeah, he's going to try and, yeah.
Company commander.
Yeah, I think it's a company commander.
Maybe, and then try and possibly touch that wyvern, I guess.
Yeah, look, if they made it to the commander, if they would easily ace him and consolidate and be able to tap that if they get any kind of a decent charge. The Crusader's probably going to... look, he's got 5 wounds left. He probably can't leave the Bulgrin there, honestly. He probably dies next turn if the Bulgrin is still there. So he probably needs to kill the... Yeah, he is. He's shooting the Bulgrin. He shoots the Bulgrin, then he charges into the infantry squad in front of him and tries and pulls them off that middle objective. And then all of a sudden he's getting hold more. Because those Virtus Praetors are Mother F and Obsec, and that company commander is not. So all he needs to do is just get on that objective. Even if the company commander somehow survives, he's still taking 2 objectives off his opponent, which will he will have hold none. Rymill will have hold 0, and his opponent will have hold more. Like, yeah.
This is a bit for everyone at home. This is why it's really good to take tank commanders in a spearhead detachment because then they're obstac.
Yeah, absolutely right, man. Because that Punisher would be... He's still got 2 tank commander Punishers on the table. They could both be obsec right now. And honestly, I think that's probably the play with the Punisher here. Move and advance it onto that objective. Do whatever you got to do to get it onto that one. Because currently, it's unlikely he'll ever hold this one again if the Praetors get onto it. And that middle one...
He still has that 10-man in the middle. Slightly hotter, like...
Oh, these guys?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they can walk onto that center objective, or they can move their way over to the right.
Yep.
I actually think he should move the Punisher commander up to that other objective with the order. If the Virtus Praetors go south, because then that tank commander is going to be relatively safe.
Yeah, exactly right.
And it's going to secure him another point.
Yep, it's going to be shooting for the last 2 turns of this game. It's going to be securing you points, and yeah, it's going to be really good. I think that's easily the play there. So yeah, move him, do the Talon order to move him again, then he shoots it full. Because unless he fails this charge onto the company commander, this objective is almost already gone. The only way that objective can be saved now is if he fails the charge. So yeah, 12 to 17, still at 5 points. We have... looks like we're in the... Yeah, we're into the bottom. Of course we are. We're in the bottom of turn 4. Let's get a clock on what's left in this round. We have 34 minutes left in this round. We will probably most likely get a natural conclusion. It is... Yeah, could you see us not getting a natural conclusion here? I mean, this guy's been playing at a good pace. There hasn't been a lot left for literally...
It's slowed down over the last 5 minutes pretty hard.
Yeah, but the decision making has just gotten very, very important. The knight has just picked up a bunch of guardsmen. Yeah. And I don't know if he's charged. I don't know if that was the charge or if that was shooting. I have to assume that's shooting. It's got to be shooting, yeah. Yeah.
Looks like a heavy flamer.
Yeah, honestly, I would just be shooting your stubborn heavy flamer into that unit to soften them up for the charge. I wouldn't have bothered shooting any of your key weapons because you want to be able to charge onto that objective. So now it looks like he has got only 1 guy left in that unit, which that works perfectly. I hope you did that on purpose. The Bulgrins, it looks like there's only 2 to 3 left at most. There's 2 Bulgrin left, so they've cost the brunt of the Crusader. And there's this old boy, and it looks like this old boy left. So they're pretty much out of the game, and I'm just going to take that as an opportunity to draw a smiley face. Hi guys. I should have drawn the regulation showed, but I didn't. I chose not to. I showed restraint, Diffie. Be proud of me.
I'm not.
I'm not. That's fair.
So he's declared his charge.
He's made it. He's made it, and he's gotten a big enough roll that he's already connected with the Wyvern. So he just he jumped 1 guy over the other side of the commander. That's a big roll. That's a big roll. And
am I right in thinking that Alex should have been maxed out on Gangbusters? Though?
Yeah, Alex is 100% should be maxed out on Gangbusters. Because he's killed 10 of 12 Praetors. That's maxed out easily. He's charged the Crusaders charged the Bulgrin. I would have thought you charge the Guardsmen, kill that, and make the Bulgrin soak another turn of Overwatch.
Are gonna pop from morale anyway.
Exactly right, but you get the objective.
He doesn't need the objective. He already has one.
That's
He's on the
true.
bottom
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the turn, he
yeah,
doesn't need it.
yeah. And he's
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
I forgot Alex didn't have any himself because he's just taking his one off him. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the right call.
Because I'm assuming that there was that bike that went over to the bottom right-hand corner.
There are a lot of people in this room now, and I might have to tell them to fuck off because it is getting very loud.
So what was that?
Can you guys still hear me? Okay? Is the noise coming from them coming through?
No, you just cut out every now and then.
Okay.
Because of how much noise is off the screen, Discord sometimes tries to do noise cancellation.
You
Nice.
cut out on Discord every now and then, but through the stream, I think you're okay.
Diffie, what's our stance? Jason Collins has just pointed out if the score is incorrect, will we adjust?
Well, they oh, it's up to them.
Well, they're doing
It's up to them. We're not here to interfere in the game. We're just calling it. If they score it incorrectly, we may or may not mention it to the TOs, and TOs can take it up with them. But we're not part of the judge team. We're not judges. We're not TOs. We're not here to interfere in any way if we don't have to.
Look, I think if they, I mean, there's a good chance. Secondaries are one of those things that quite often, especially like gangbusters and
You do it at the end.
you just do it at the end. And that might be fine. Because I would argue that Ben's probably on more than 2 Reaper points right now as well.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think they'll just fix that up at the end.
Yeah, I think so too. It looks like the Bulgren have gotten some wounds through onto the knight, but I think there's one Bulgren left.
Oh, and I think that's a dead wyvern. No, he just.
Nah, the company commander just got picked up, and so we're going straight into Alex's turn.
No, he fell back with the wyvern. That's,
Yeah. So bang, they're not wasting any time. They're going straight in, and we've just got Ben is just putting in his scores now. He's going to go for the smites again. I betcha. Sorry.
So this is a big deal. We've got the Basilisk and 2 tank commanders to pour shots into those Praetors.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shots.
It is a hell of a lot of shots.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of troops in there. It could swing either way. But
Yeah.
that's the game right there. Like,
It is.
Well,
And how cool is it? It's come down to this.
how many wounds are left on that knight? Because don't forget, that knight is worth 4 points to Alex. Like, if
Oh,
that
for-
knight's
less than
only got-
5.
If that knight's got only a few wounds left,
Yeah, they can't have put the Kingslayer points in. They can't have because he would have points already for taking wounds off Alex, off the knight. Oh, it's just gone up to 4. Okay, cool. So those scores look like they're pretty accurate,
Okay.
except for the Gangbuster. The Gangbuster should be on 4. So it could be 2 more points here. So it could be 19 to freaking 20, guys. Holy shit.
yeah. But I said, I think, well, yeah, but I also think, and I'd have to do the count, but I'm pretty sure Ben has more than 2 Reapers.
yeah,
Yeah.
he has at least.
So,
3.
yeah,
Well, no, I mean, 20 models. He may not have quite killed models yet, but he should have, I would think.
So it looks like the Guardsmen have made a nice fat double move, and they've made it onto objective 2.
actually, yeah, there isn't actually as many 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 guardsmen. He's killed 3 squads of guards. That's right, 4 squads of guardsmen. He's killed some of the Bulgren.
Yep.
I definitely think he's at
right
least-
around.
He's at 3 Reaper. Well, with Chain. I think he's you know, if you had half points, which of course you don't, he'd be at 3.5. I think he's probably around 70 model beds.
So, look, it's still quite possible for Ben to get wiped here. He won't get wiped because he has a unit or 2 of guardsmen sitting in these ruins. But
Which can get taken out by the
Wyverns.
Wyvern.
But what I'm saying, it's possible this turn for him to lose the Praetors and lose the Knight, technically.
Yeah, I think those Praetors have to die.
Yeah, they do.
Have to die.
Yeah, they have to go.
Because they're obsec. Not just the damage they can do, not just the fact that they can tap those tanks, but because they're obsec, and means that he can't hold that bottom objective, and they can,
Okay, did something just...
It looks like he's saying he didn't fall back into the boulder.
Yeah, he did. I think he just did that, and I don't like that personally. If that's true, I'm not a fan. Yeah,
If you got to fall back.
yeah. If he didn't get to fall back. Okay, so it looks like Alex probably went through his psychic phase and into his shooting phase, and then realized he didn't fall back with his single Bullgren. And then when he said, "Oh, I'm going to fall back," his opponent said, "Nah, too bad. You're going two phases too far." And he said no. And so I think that means he's just shooting the Praetors now. I'm not a huge fan.
I don't think that's the end of the world.
Me either. I don't think it's the end of the world. But what I mean is, it's just.
Praetors have to die.
I think it's a.
Praetors have to die.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's a sportsman call. It doesn't need to happen, especially if you think about it for probably a few seconds more than he thinks he has time to think about it. Because usually people think they just got to make calls like bang, 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 bang at the bottom of the nines in a game that is literally 3 points difference at a top table. Those things usually come out probably a bit quicker than you think. You're making decisions quicker than you normally would. And maybe if he had another 10 seconds to think about it, he'd realize, hey, that probably doesn't actually matter, and I should probably just let him have it.
Well, I mean, to me, it really depends. Did he say, "Hey, listen, I'm going to fall back with this Bullgren," and then he forgot to do it?
No, I don't think he even said. I don't think he even noticed him.
Okay.
So
if he didn't state the intent, then that's on him.
it is. It absolutely 100% is on Alex for forgetting. But it's you can just let him. But look, I'm not going to besmirch it to Ben. It's Alex's fault. He should have seen it. He should have fallen back. Despite that though, it did just give Alex the appropriate tunnel vision he needs to see what the actual problem is, which is the Praetors.
Yeah, I've seen that before at top tables. I actually saw it at LVO at one game where someone had made a mistake and their opponent let them correct it, and I asked him afterwards. He's like, "Oh, well, I wanted him to do that." Like, he was like the quote unquote thing he forgot to do. The mistake was what I was anticipating him doing. If he hadn't have done it, it would have messed me up more.
Looks like we've got a Punisher going into the Praetor.
The one downside, though, am I right in thinking
got 6 wounds.
that tank up the top left-hand corner can't see the Praetors?
No, he probably can.
He was measuring it.
Yeah, he measured it and he could. I think that one shot first and he could have seen it. It's saw the second dude.
I wasn't thinking range. I was thinking line of sight.
Line of sight.
I was thinking that box might have been in the way.
No, I'm pretty sure he got the tape measure over it, measured it, and shot that first.
Yeah, I would have shot that first because he definitely could have seen the second one.
Okay. No, sure. As I said, it's sometimes a little hard to see from the top down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Here we have the saves. Looks like he's failed 2. So there's 2 wins left on that Praetor. Okay, 2 wins left. He can do 2 wounds. Like it's I don't know what else he's shot yet. I'm assuming the Bassi would have been the first thing to shoot. That would have been what I did. That's the Bassi, sorry. That is the Bassi. Looks like he's got 5 shots. 6 shots, sorry. 3 hits, 2 wounds.
This is it.
He saved them both. He 4-up saved them both.
Ouch.
Wowee. That sucks.
So he just shot a Bazzi, 2 Punisher tank commanders at those 2 Praetors.
And did 6 wounds. So 4 wounds to the first one, 2 wounds to the second one.
Ouch.
Not actually the worst result because
hold on. Knight's dead.
Oh.
Did that Bullgren just kill the Knight?
Holy shit, it's. Did it?
Oh my god. That's hilarious.
I think you're playing Mansky. That is. I don't know what the fuck just happened there. Wowee. Because
We're moving at a pretty fast pace. I'm not actually sure what's going on anymore.
So we know that.
The Bullgren had to have.
So we know that the Knight took wounds last turn from the Bullgren when he charged in. I know I saw him turn the wheel. That could have meant he had 5 wounds left. That could have meant he took 2 and he was on 3 wounds left, or he took 4 and he was on 1 wound left. Otherwise he would have been dead. If he was only on 1 wound left and he said you have to leave the Bullgren in combat, that's a mistake. If you had 3 wounds left and he had made him keep it in combat, you're like 1 Bullgren with 3 attacks, or possibly 4. It's probably the bonehead. Hitting on 3s, winning on 5s, and I've got a 4-up armor. Probably not going to kill me. So.
I would have, unless he had like 6 left. Even then, like I would have.
You would have just been
I
like,
would've-
karma's going to come for me, baby.
Yeah.
Let him fall back.
Yeah, like get out of there, man. Like
Yeah,
like,
run for your life.
That Karen, like if he has to shoot at me, cool. That bouldering isn't gonna matter later.
Okay, so this has just swung to Alex's favour considerably.
It also meant that
Ben
he got
is
a hold
still
one.
Yeah.
Jason just asked.
Yeah, he's still got hold one as well because he got to consolidate from. Sorry, what'd you say, man?
I was just saying to Jason that there is still guards.
There's still guardsmen in those ruins.
I have a question. How could he have consolidated south when the closest models were north?
That's right. That's right. Well,
Bulgarian-
it would have been
the
between.
Bulgarian
Yeah,
was on the other side of the building.
Bulgarian was here.
You would have had to consolidate.
And he consolidated
north.
down. He would have had to consolidate up. Although, yeah, you're absolutely right. He couldn't have placed himself on that objective, guys.
There's no reason for that Bulgarian to have gone south.
He can't have gone there.
Well,
yeah.
the only reason I could give you, and it's then on Ben to correct Alex, is that Alex forgot there were guardsmen there and
Yeah.
thought he was moving closer
Towards the Praetor.
to the bike, and that's when Ben should have gone
Piped
no,
up and said,
you're
"Nah,
gonna
I've got
go
guys left. You have to
because
come this
I've got
way."
models here you can't see."
Well, I mean,
I think that's-
it's always on the player's
Yeah.
job to get the rules right. It's not on the opponent to catch the mistake.
No, it's not a rules. This isn't a rules thing. Like this is a. So keeping in mind, we're looking from a top down. Those models were hidden from Alex's.
And
point
they've
of
been
view.
there. They haven't
You
moved
couldn't-
for
you
5 turns
couldn't
now.
see them from where Alex is, and
Yeah.
and as Adam says, they haven't moved the entire game.
I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just saying that
Let's throw
it's
shade.
still it's still the case of that Bulgarian should be north.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is that was an illegal move on the Bulgarian. There's no denying that, but it doesn't matter at this point. Like it's probably not going to make much of a difference. And at the onus, it's Alex's model. Onus is on him to know, but Ben by all means has the information to make it known to him. And so it's a two-player game. But we're moving on. We are into the bottom of 5 now, and it looks like it's
shooting.
just we're straight into the shooting phase. As the guardsmen have jumped out from behind their little hidey holes, and they've parked himself on this objective, and he's moved out here. He's just piling fire into this 10-man squad. And so if I complete this and then just do a little bit of this, there's my regulation chode. Cool, done.
Thank you. So I would say that 10-man squad that just jumped out to shoot at the other 10-man is just about to get in Alex's turn
Wyvern.
6. No, deleted by the Punisher.
Oh yeah, he's got a Punisher in the top left. Yep. So
Tank Commander
Well-
is just going to go see you guys later.
So the Wyvern, has the Wyvern fallen back from this first Praetor? Well, it's just going to get charged again by the Praetor, so he's not going to have the Wyvern to shoot.
The Wyvern did fall back because that was how they were able to shoot
Yeah.
at them.
So the Wyvern's just going to get tapped again by the Praetor. In fact, this Praetor can tap both these guys now. He can take the Punisher as well. He just charges
He won't
charges
be on
the Wyvern.
objective. He won't be on an objective.
Actually, that's true. Yep, and he's probably more value to him to stay on the objective, to be honest.
Um,
Although he hasn't got the bottom of turn, so in all likelihood, all the guardsmen are dead, and he just has that Praetor left at the end of this turn. So by the time he plays again in turn 6.
Mate, this is going to come right down to the wire as far as
I
the
agree.
final score.
I don't think it's going to be a massive score though. We've just had a score. We've just had some scores come in for some other top tables. We should have a quick gaze at that. So leaderboards. Michael Hamilton is currently sitting on top with 123 battle points. Dan Martin has had a clobbering. He's on 129, but he's only on. He's taken a draw, so he's on 350 round points. Michael Cross, who's also taken a loss, is 3,000. Where is
Hayden probably hasn't put his.
Hayden hasn't put in his score in because he's a slacker, and he said he got a 37-point win. So Hayden is going to be on 4,000, and so Hayden's might jump Hamilton.
He goes to 4,000.
He's not going to make
No, he's not going to jump. No, he's not going to jump to Hamilton. No, but it's looking like right now it's going to be Michael Hamilton versus Hayden Mansky on the top table, which is pure guard versus pure tower.
Your list versus my list.
Yep, this is our list versus each other. That'll be pretty fun. My list is better.
Mine's guard. Yours is tower.
Mine's better.
You hate tower.
I do. I hate
love
tower,
guard.
but I want to win. No, it's fine. All right, just got to ask. Luke Pierce just asked when the next round starts. Our last round starts at 1 o'clock and goes until 4 o'clock. So that is 1:30 for you guys, or is that 12:30 for you guys, Diffie?
No, it'll be
12:30, yeah.
They're half an hour ahead.
Ahead.
So yeah,
At 1:30.
Oh, and Damage is here.
There is a dog called Damage.
No, that's Damage's dog.
Okay.
The owner is Damage.
Okay, that's cool. Is he damaged?
There's Damage. Hi, Damage.
Looks damaged. Hope you guys enjoyed that exchange. That was brought to you lovingly by Down Under Pairings and Down Under Network. You still with us, Mitch? Mitchy. Has he died again? The balls.
Nah, I'm just muted. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah, it's fair. You've had enough of this.
Definitely Damage's dog.
Oh no, I just have to. I have to also prepare dinner, so I'm doing both at
okay.
once.
Beast of
I
burden you
multitask.
are. So you're absolutely right there, Diffie. That Punisher is about to explode and ejaculate all over those guardsmen. They will be picked up in short order. These guardsmen did not. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 5 guardsmen left in that unit. They're still on that objective, and this one is about to get picked up, possibly by the Basilisk.
So, just so as you're aware, we've Team Viewers just decided to finish on us. So
Yeah, it died.
that's all right.
We'll get it back for next one. But it's okay. We've literally only got about 10-15 minutes left in this game.
Oh, with what's left on the game, we can just
Not
watch
too
Twitch.
fast. So what's going to be? So this Punished Tank Commander has looks like it's moved over, and the Wyvern has fallen back again. He's going to be putting. So the minimum range on the Basilisk means he can only shoot his heavy bolter into the Avertus Praetor. The Basilisk has to shoot elsewhere because he's got the minimum range of 12 inches. Is that correct, Mitch?
The Bassie?
Yeah, minimum range 12.
I'll just bring it up.
I actually don't know off the top of my head. I haven't used Basilisk so long, but I believe it is a minimum range of 12 if it has a minimum range.
Nice. I'll tell you,
Um,
Diffie. I'll tell you one thing that just happened.
Earthshaker cannon, 240 inches. This weapon can target units that are not visible. I don't think there is a minimum range anymore.
Okay.
No minimum range.
No,
I think
so
you're thinking.
you can. I can just imagine the Earthshaker cannon just points straight up.
Yeah.
And just shoots it up and down. And,
It'll
and
be in
kills
a
someone.
while, guys. Just stay right there. Just hold that pose.
It would be funny if
It's like the Austin Powers. No.
Well, I was thinking the closer you were to the shot, the more turns it took to hit your opponent. So, like, if you shot it within 12 inches of you, it hits them in the next turn.
Nice. We have had updated scores, guys. It is 20-20 fucking 2. There's 2 points in this.
Oh, this is close.
This is ridiculously close.
And Gangbusters hasn't been updated.
No, there's a couple of things that haven't been updated yet.
And Kingslayer's only on 3 for Alex.
Bowler to you. Thank you for following, dude. Welcome to the fun and shenanigans that is Down Under Network. You will be possibly disappointed, possibly impressed, mostly both. Okay.
Mostly both. Yeah.
Dude, let's change that to our new catchphrase.
We're,
Possibly
we're-
disappointed, possibly impressed, mostly both.
we're like a fine bottle of old wine. You don't really know if it's corked until you've opened it and started drinking.
You don't know if it's vinegar. You don't know if it's delicious. Like, are you going to get drunk? Are you going to get into a fight? We don't know. We're just rolling. We're rolling with what we've got, guys. This game is coming to its absolute conclusions. So this is turn 6. This is the top of turn 6. It is 20-22. I can't believe how close this is. On the board left for Ben, we have exactly 0 Virtus Praetors. His last bike just got picked up, guys. It is gone. There is an empty space here where the last golden chode boy used to reside.
The golden chode boy.
He is now gone.
Jeez.
Those guardsmen, there's 2 left there on that squad. They're about to be picked up also probably by these opposing guardsmen, and this Punisher is about to pick up this. So it is in likelihood Ben may get wiped before his bottom return. Oof. Well played by both these guys. For a time there, I thought Alex was going to coast to a nice, comfortable win for a while, and then for a time I thought Ben was going to claw this back. Look, Ben's been in front on points for most of the game, but I've still been pretty confident Alex was going to get back into it.
What do you think Ben's mark for death were?
I thought there would have been the tank commanders, seeing as he didn't take Big Game Hunter, which I assumed was a no-brainer against a Bassi.
So
yeah.
The fact maybe he thought they were going to get rid of both those tank commanders, and the fact that they're still around.
I think tank commanders and Bulgrin, and the Bulgrin haven't died, and only one tank commander has.
Yeah, exactly right. I think that makes the most sense to me. So I think Big Game Hunter might have been the better choice for him. Although he would be on the same amount.
It wouldn't have made a
Would
difference.
be on the same
Wouldn't have
amount
made
of
a
points, wouldn't he?
difference.
He would be on exactly the same amount of points, the same 1 point. Alex just got the bonus point this round for holding his opponent's home objective.
For what? Sorry.
Holding objective 2 is the bonus point. So Alex has just held his opponent's home objective, and has just scored an extra bonus point there. So that's actually pretty big, extremely big. He's got one last squad of guardsmen, or is it his company commander?
It's Guardsman.
His company commander. No, it's company commander, and he's just fallen back with his last 2 guardsmen. This is the bottom of turn 6. He has exactly 2 units of guardsmen in order to make something happen. He's advancing onto the center objective. 100%, that's the right thing to do. This is the top bottom of the turn. This is the close of this. What has actually been an epic fucking game, guys. Thank you everybody who's joined us. Thanks to the new followers we have. Thank you to Mitch so much for this one as well. This has actually been a pretty epic game, and it's never as good as the commentary. Sorry, it's never as good without the commentary and me having guys to call it with. You guys might enjoy it more without the commentary, but I don't.
Maybe it's a valid criticism.
That is a valid criticism. I'm really here for my enjoyment, guys. you guys enjoying it is just a bonus. So back to the leaderboard. We had a bunch of more games come through.
Ooh, they're going to take that center objective. They're obsec.
So yeah, they are. They're going to take the center. So he's going to take the top right, and he's going to take the center objective. I will let you know that right now, sitting on the top of the scores is Gabe Delolio, and he is on 4,137 points. He is he is 14 points.
4,000.
It's above 4,000. He is a couple of points clear of Michael Hamilton, who's sitting in second, and he has Dark Eldar. So it might be Dark Eldar versus Tau up next, which could be very, very, very interesting. Oh man, sitting for 2,048 minutes, my bladder is like a bloated walrus on a Saturday night.
Oh, I love you, Adam.
I love you too, baby.
Hang out with many walruses on weekends?
What, you don't? Oh, you're not Canadian.
No. Yeah, I am not. I'm much
You
more.
wish.
I'm Washingtonian. Obviously, I own a small weed dispensary and deal in like antique monocles because we're all hipsters here.
Well, I'm from the Melbourne area, so we're all hipsters too. The same thing. Like if it's not organic, grass-fed, cocaine-free, fair trade.
You had me into the last one.
Coffee, yeah, fair trade coffee. It's not
No,
even cocaine,
before
man.
fair trade.
Okay, cocaine.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Cocaine free.
Fair trade organic first press cocaine.
There we go.
The cocaine industry is not taking opportunities like the branding and product opportunities they could.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, they've got a lot of like negative PR they got to fight first.
Exactly right. They got to claw back that image. It used to be you had your little snuff box, and you're like, I'm feeling tired. I'll open my snuff box. Bang! Back in the show, baby. Back when we used to have to work 18 hours a day in the sawmills.
With no weekends.
With no weekends, 7 days
yeah.
a week. Thank you to our lovely unions.
I still have no idea how this game's going to end score-wise.
I also like this how many tangents this stream has gone on.
Oh, dude, it's phenomenal. And this is what you can expect from Down Under Network.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how many tangents did you go on?
We
Probably 11.
So we created
11.
a whole. We created a whole new mythical universe where dice are the dominant species. But there's different kinds of dice. We also were talking about bloated walruses and owning antique shops and weed dispensaries. What else have we gone? Where else have we gone with this? We've given names and families to dice. Like we've given whole narratives.
And a life story of giving up a violin career.
Yeah, to have children with her partner, and she's like, well, the kids have all moved. They've left the nest. What's there left for me to do now?
I'm leaving you for a D8.
Yeah, but
leaving you for a nice shiny new D8.
Really, her story is where we follow, and she ends up, get this, it's a real twist, with a dreidel. No one saw it coming.
Surely she didn't. Her mother would be rolling in her grave, seeing her daughter with a dreidel.
To be fair, like dice tend to roll in general.
Rolling.
But...
Yeah,
dude, you saw the pun. Rolling in her grave, you got it.
All right.
So looks like we have some scoring.
Oh, it's going in. Ben's up to 25 to 23. We're gonna get So Gangbusters should be chucked up to 4, I believe. Yep, it's getting chucked up now. Gangbusters up to 25-25. Holy fuck, is this a fucking draw? 26.
Is it a draw?
26 to Alex. Holy shit, is he snagged by 1 point? Holy crap, Alex.
The question is, did he get that 4th Reaper point? I don't
think he did, man. Yeah, I don't think he did. I think literally this might have come down to Mark for Death not being the right choice. Oh wow, it is. Oh my god, it is. What an epic game, guys. That was amazing.
1 point to
1 point to Alex. He's won by 1 point.
Oh.
Wow, that is intense. They're having a handshake. Oh yeah, wow, what a game. Well, Alex didn't know he'd won it until they added it up. So Alex was thinking he'd lost by a couple of points, and then added up, and he was up by 1. That is hectic.
So yeah, 4 points for Gangbusters, 4 for Kingslayer, 3 for Butcher's Bill.
Yeah. Opposed to 4 for Kingslayer, 1 for Mark to Death, 3 for Reaper. That's.
I think, yeah.
Wow, well played, Alex.
That Bulgren was all the difference.
1 Bulgren, dude. 1 Bulgren was different. That night, going down to that Bulgren.
1 consolidation.
Wow, yeah.
That's the difference between a tie.
Oh no.
Oh no. Because without
let's not say that.
Oh no. Actually, that's not true. No, it didn't matter because they're OBSEC. Never mind. It did not matter because they're OBSEC.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say. I'm like. I don't think so. I don't want it to be. Yeah. That's not the case. Yeah. No. Yeah. Because of the OBSEC, it did not matter at all.
Yeah, exactly right.
He's gonna push.
He had hold already from the top left. Yeah. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, we might leave it there. Right now, it's looking like we are going to have a pure Dark Eldar versus Tau on the top table for this. It's going to be Gabe Delolio versus Michael Hamilton, and that will be supposedly starting. It'll be starting in about 45 minutes, guys. So for those of you who joined us, 24 viewers, thank you so much. We'll be back in 45. Is Mitch going to join us for the last one?
No, I gotta go cook some steaks.
Not a problem at all,
It's been great, guys.
Just joined in for the Imperium games. You're tuning out for the Xenos games. I understand.
I mean, the Xenos, they can do what they want to do. It's fine.
Yeah.
And, I guess they exist in the narrative, but really, I mean, it's the Imperium. It's the Imperium of man and the chaos we need to vanquish. That's the narrative of 40K.
Absolutely.
Come on.
All right, we're going to tune out. We're going to end this stream. I need to go unleash this walrus, and I'm going to go get some food. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. We love you all. Thank you for the new followers. Thank you for everybody who has contributed to us being able to do this today. Terracon 2019, we'll be back with round 5 in about 45 minutes. See you then, guys.
Peace.